Hello and welcome to the Old Man Orange podcast. I'm Spencer Scott Holmes.
I'm Ryan Dunigan, and we have three special guests today.
I'm Josh.
I'm Cameron.
RJ.
And they're from...
We're from Premarital Death.
There we go. Actually, we know them all from high school. Well, not Cameron, but...
Yeah. New face here.
And elementary school.
Yep. Way back.
But yeah, well, we were talking about Resident Evil, me and RJ. That's really like our bonding experience of life. Like, no matter what, there's Resident Evil. When I see Resident Evil, I think RJ.
Well,
no
usually,
matter what.
if we mention like Resident,
I see it and I just go, first thing when I picked up Resident Evil 6, I'm like, RJ should be here right now.
Well, I mean, look at the tattoo.
It's tatted on his arm.
Times.
you have the
You
umbrella.
can't deny that.
Yeah.
And the umbrella logo. Yeah, well, it was one of those things. Every single time we mention, like, all right, because there's a couple names we always mention on the podcast. Oh, this one time with Cisco. Oh, this one time with Kyle. This one time with Wes. If we ever mention Resident Evil, we're gonna mention, oh yeah, well, this one time with RJ. You know?
Yeah.
No kidding.
We'd have like marathons in high school where we'd play Resident Evil 2 and the remake and 1 and Code Veronica especially. I just played a bout of Code Veronica.
Sometimes all at the same time.
We'd take a whole weekend and we'd just lay them all out and just be like, okay, we're gonna go through 2, then 1, and we'd have all this weird order of it. 3, Nemesis.
Sometimes it'd be Kyle playing Resident Evil 2 on one TV, me playing on another TV, dude.
You miss the days of having multiple TVs. I still have the multiple TVs, just I never see more than one get used at a time.
I remember when you first all got Wii's, you said, "Wii party at my house," and it sounds like the gayest thing ever. But everybody would bring their Wii, hook up to a different TV, and by themselves play their own game.
Well, I remember the funny part about the Wii party too is like I didn't let anybody come over that didn't have a Wii because it's like, dude, you don't have a Wiimote, you don't have a fucking pass. This is a private club here.
Well, at first, because everybody was coming over to your house, wanting to play Wii like every day once you got one.
A Wii party sounds dangerous, dude. It just sounds like someone's gonna get hurt.
Well, I remember when we first got the Wii, and like me and RJ were some of the only ones that had it because we had the Wiimotes, and that was your key to getting into the party. And RJ, I remember you were talking about like the strap on your wrist. You're like, this is the stupidest fucking thing ever. Why do I need a strap? Like, I'm gonna throw my controller. Whatever, fuck, I'm gonna go bowling. And you go to bowl, and you chuck the controller straight up in the air as hard as can be. Hits the ceiling, and then you dive down and catch it before it hits anything else.
I think I almost had a heart attack, dude.
The best part, though, was the speech prior to that.
This is perfect timing.
Yep.
There was one time I was like, when you guys were living in San Francisco, Kyle and I were visiting you guys. We were playing, and we were like doing some kind of like, I don't think we were playing bowling. We were playing.
No, we're playing Wii Golf. Are you talking about the time when the cops came?
I wasn't there for that time.
Okay,
but
you missed out on that one.
I think that was the next day. I left the next day for something. But no, we were playing golf. I remember I swung so hard it like went across the room, and I think you guys had that mannequin George, and it like knocked George in the head. He fell over, and it was Cisco's controller. It says, "Dunigan, you fuck!" It, like freaks out on me for a second.
Well, you know on the picture,
Just
you know,
so I'm
when
like
you
Cisco.
start a Wii up and it shows these pictures, there's like it's like don't do this. There's one where like a guy's smacking another guy, and then the other one's like he's knocking over a vase.
Yep.
Whenever that happens, I always point that I'm like, yep, I've been smacked right across the face of one of those Wiimotes before. It's a fucking dangerous game.
It's gonna take a lot of effort for someone to take like a Wii U controller and do that. Because they're not doing. Are they still doing some kind of motion thing?
There's
with the Wii U?
there's still a bunch of motion with it.
Okay.
I finally bought myself a Wii U. It hasn't arrived yet because I didn't want to pay that extra $10 for shipping.
Am I gonna have to get a Wii U before I come over to your house now?
Probably because you don't be part of the club.
I don't understand what exactly like is the plus to Wii U as opposed to the Wii. Besides, like I know you can play it on your controller.
The gamepad.
Well, it is. It is a strong.
Transfer it off the console.
Well, the way I look at the gamepad thing though, it's like the 3D. It's like the DS. Because at first, when there's 2 screens, you're like, why do I need 2 screens? And then the second you go to play a game like Castlevania or something like that, you're like, holy fuck! I love having the map out the whole fucking time. That makes the biggest difference. So I look at it as video games like. It's gonna be sweet. I'm gonna have the map out the whole time on my gear.
I think it's a great idea. I was just like, is there anything else? Like,
Well, the system is stronger. Now it's not PS4 or Xbox One strong. But what I've always said is like,
It's finally HD at least. I mean,
well, I take my Xbox 360 and my Wii regular. I have just as many games for Wii as I do for 360. I found enough good things on there, and I feel Wii U will be like that too. Plus, you have Metroid, you have Zelda, you have Mario, you have all that stuff.
Oh yeah, dude.
F-Zero. Really, no matter what, when you buy a Nintendo system, you get Nintendo games no matter what.
Yeah.
And that's really the best part.
Mm-hmm.
and nothing can really beat a good Zelda game.
They don't need the good graphics to be good.
No, I mean, come on, think about it. Like Skyward Sword. Come on, that was better than almost anything
Dude,
else around that time.
I think it's best to support Nintendo any way you can, especially right now with like Sony and Microsoft destroying everything.
Well, I sent a thing on Twitter the other day because people are like bitching about. They're like, "Oh, Nintendo doesn't have as good sales and stuff because their games are." They don't have as much stuff out. And I'm like, well, fuck it. Buy a fucking Wii U. There's enough good games. You can get Wind Waker. You can get fucking Mario. It got Game of the fucking Year. And here's the thing. If everybody goes out and buys a Wii U, Nintendo gets a bunch of fucking money so they can make more games. Simple.
Right now, I'm imagining you like, I want you, like the
I
Uncle
want
Sam
you.
pose, but you're just like Mario.
Yeah.
Dude, I got a poster in my room
That'd be
that's from
sweet.
Mario Party 5 that says, like, Mario for President. He's got, like, that look on him. You remember that from Nintendo Power?
Dude, hell yeah, dude. Dude, I feel bad for Nintendo, dude, I do. Especially, like, when I was reading the other day online that their CEO or whatever's taking, like, a cut in his pay so that he doesn't have to fire any of his employees and he can still pay them.
Yep.
Dude, like,
But the 3DS still sold more than any other
50%
system.
in his wage.
dude, that's
It's
insane.
50% of his wages.
Just so he can keep
cut.
his employees. That's
Well,
pretty dedicated.
he'll be doing it. I'm sure, like every like major. I think like the big three always going to have their ups and downs, and I think this just Nintendo's just having one of those right now. I think they'll come back around once they come out with more actual like big Nintendo games, like like
Zelda.
Mario World, Mario 3D World, or like the next Zelda or whatever. I'm sure they'll come back around.
I agree. No, I'm just afraid that like me and Cameron were talking about that like Nintendo's gonna quit making systems and start just going to handhelds and maybe just making games instead.
Like
I'm
Sega?
afraid of that.
Like a Sega?
Yeah, exactly. But it's like
Yeah,
because I want
exactly.
Nintendo to be able to
Yeah,
keep making
that
systems, of
would not
course.
be
So
good.
it's like
Yeah.
You know what? I read an article that said that Sega never wanted to stop making systems. It was some other legal thing that like why they had to stop. But like Sega would have kept going.
Well, the problem with did you hear about the problems with the Dreamcast and why that thing failed?
No.
dude.
Well, you know,
I
you
don't
used to-
understand why.
I
The
thought it was-
Dreamcast is fucking
I thought it was
amazing. I got like
ahead of
80
it was
fucking
way
games.
ahead of
from it.
its time.
That's
Like,
what I'm
exactly.
saying.
I
The
loved
reason
it.
why that failed is because hackers found a code inside the actual system that unlocked a bootloader, and when they could plug it in online, right, and then download their games.
Well, here's the thing with the Dreamcast. You actually don't need any of that hacking stuff. The
Right.
thing about a Dreamcast, unlike a PlayStation and everything else, you got to put a mod chip in. You can literally just burn a Dreamcast game onto a disc and play it on your Dreamcast. Nothing.
Same thing with like
I-
the PS.
I have a bunch of burnt games because the second I heard about them, I'm like, holy fuck, I can get all these Japanese games I always wanted that they never sold to us in America.
The other day, I was at your house, Spencer. We played there was the game Cannon Strike. It was the first time I played it because I'm so glad I didn't buy it because I remember being in middle school, seeing like there was like this like it looked from the screenshot, it looked like kind of like a street brawler game where Cammy and Charlie, it's what happens when they do the fusion dance from Dragon Ball Z. But anyway, Cammy and Charlie were playable characters. Like, oh, are you gonna be fighting like it's just like a Street Fighter brawler kind of thing? And then like it was like expensive. It was like $36. And then I went to your house. It was like, let's check this game out. I always want to see what this was. Like, I am so fucking glad I did not spend any money on this thing. Holy shit.
We beat the game in like 10 minutes.
Oh, wow.
That's horrible,
And
dude.
it's
Each level consisted of about maybe a minute long.
you could tell it was like an arcade game or something. Because what happened was, it was like, for some reason, they were on like rollerblades and they had machine guns. And it was kind of like, I think like, all right, no one's going to buy this fucking thing. Throw in Red Riding Hood from
BB Hood.
BB Hood from Darkstalkers, throw in Mega Man, and then throw in Charlie and Cammy. Because no one's going to play this fucking game for the other three characters.
Yeah, we didn't even play the other games. Like, fuck those characters.
Yeah. So, and it was just, yeah.
Well, the downfall to the Wii U, though, is it looks like it's kind of might be in that same Dreamcast level. Because the downfall to the Dreamcast is it came out early, so it was definitely better than the N64 and PlayStation.
Yeah, it was
But by the
before
time
all that.
GameCube, PlayStation 2, and Xbox came out, which all were using DVDs to play games, and the Sega Dreamcast was still on CDs, I feel like that's really what was like that's where it lost out at.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Nintendo, obviously, with the Wii, we can see that they still survived by being, not nearly as powerful, but Nintendo still has the games. I mean, Sega has more games than Nintendo does
Dude,
by far,
how
but
can you beat Mario on Zelda, dude?
but that's the thing. This Mario and Zelda,
Yeah.
it's like no matter what, it's like, I don't care. Like,
Sonic doesn't compare to Mario.
I love
Dude, I'm
Sonic,
just-
but Sega's got to stop treating him like a used condom and like just treat him like with some fucking respect
Dude,
again.
Oh, they destroyed his
Generations
that
was
game.
decent.
They
Generations was a
destroyed
decent.
that game.
no, you should
Generations
play
was a-
Sonic Episode 2 or Sonic 4 Episode 2. It sounds weird, but
that in
it is
Generations
fucking
were good.
amazing.
Dude, I miss Sonic Shuffle, dude.
There's another great Dreamcast game.
I'm horrible at party games. I'm like with the one guy who like loses all his coins or his
I
own
remember
star,
Mario
and then
Party.
walks out like, "Fuck you guys, fuck all you."
Did you play that Robotnik's
By Sack and
Mean
Bindle
Bean
down the
Machine,
railroad tracks.
dude? Sonic thing? Yeah.
Mean Bean
Oh, yeah.
Machine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember
love
that.
that.
On
Best
the
Boy
Sonic
Pop.
disc for GameCube.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Dude, I
that was
remember
fun.
having Sonic Spinball, dude. What, for Sega Genesis?
Oh,
Yeah,
dude,
the one that's based
Spinball
off like the
is
TV
sweet.
show, or it's based off the Disney TV show one.
Yeah.
No, dude, I remember our Mario Party battles, dude, and me having to attack Cisco for stealing my goddamn coins.
Cisco would do it to
dude.
me too. He
Dude,
always like.
every time, dude, Cisco, do not steal my coins, and boom, he's stealing my
And
coins
you go on
on
the
my
thing.
star, dude.
You go on the thing.
Are you fucking kidding me,
Cisco lands on the thing. It's like chance time. Like okay, let's see what happens.
Right,
Boom,
it's just
boom.
chance.
Yeah. I didn't mean to do it. It happens. You get to the fucking game where it's like where you're controlling his character. He has to pick up and drop you down. It's like the crane game. He has to pick you up and drop you down like the fucking hole where you can steal all your fucking coins. And he said, like, oh,
There's
you
many
just,
choices.
he just goes straight for me. Like, oh, you're just the closest, Dunigan. No, nothing personal. It's like, fuck. I do not believe the fucking Obama sticker on the back of his car. I don't believe that.
Man.
I've seen so many people walk out of playing like N64 or Cisco where they kind of have that look on their face like, fuck you, man. You know, we're not playing Mario Kart again. We're not playing Mario Party. We're definitely not playing GoldenEye.
Yeah.
Do not play
GoldenEye,
Monopoly
dude.
with him. Do not play Monopoly. He will kill Monopoly for you.
See, I've never had that like struggle as much. I always felt like I was pretty on par, but the chance
He
time
plays
they'll get
Monopoly
you.
like it's a fucking competition. He plays like it's a heist, like you're an underground, like Vietnamese, like high stakes game from like Deer Hunter or
So you like
something.
Christopher Walken?
Yeah, he's like bring in the American or like bring in the Mexican. Like Cisco comes in.
I remember I had a birthday party when I was younger and like solely just did GoldenEye, like 4-player split,
Dude.
like for the entire
Hell
party.
yeah, dude.
Just
That's,
like
that's amazing.
cake, pizza, GoldenEye.
Was the new GoldenEye any good?
Yeah, it's actually pretty cool. Don't go into that game thinking you're gonna get the exact remake of the original GoldenEye. It's sort of like, say if they remade GoldenEye the movie and then made a game off of that. If that makes
That
any
sounds
sense.
pretty sweet, though.
It's still pretty cool though, and also there's also the 007 Legends game, and I know that got kind of bad reviews too, but
Dude,
it's made by the same company as that GoldenEye one. It's pretty badass
I
stuff.
try not to listen to reviews just because, dude, they are so critical.
Well, I've given up on
sometimes,
like
dude. I'm just
Game Informer,
you are
IGN.
harsh.
I just go straight to Amazon.com. I want reviews from the people. No more of this bullshit hierarchy thing. It's like, no. I want to see if people like-minded people like this, and that will tell me, you know? Because reviews will tell you, like, oh, it's a 6 out of 10. You go on Amazon, and you find all the people that like it, and they're like, no, dude, it's fucking, if you like these games, it's a 5 out of 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you ever play through The Last of Us at all?
I don't have a
I
PS3
really
yet.
wanted to play that. I don't have a PS3 either.
That's my next
So
thing you're going to get, because they're so cheap
dude,
now.
The Last of Us was so amazing, dude. It was, dude.
It was
the
a
first game I
cinematic
would get
experience for sure.
when you do get a PS3 or something, dude. The first one, dude.
Yeah.
I was
Probably
gonna-
my second one. I still need to get Metal Gear Solid 4.
Oh, yeah.
I was
too.
thinking about
I
getting
have that game.
You kind of forget about that because it's so old by now.
I know, and I have it, so it's like I'm just waiting for the new one to come out now, dude.
I was
The
thinking about
new
getting-
one's gonna be so fucking good, dude.
I was thinking about getting a PlayStation 4, but then I found out it wasn't backwards compatible because there's a bunch of PlayStation 3 games I wanted to play, like Metal Gear Solid 4, Last of Us, the Uncharted series. But then I found out it's not backwards compatible, so I'm like, I don't know.
Well, I know this because they
So many
advertise
games
it.
to finish up still, you know? Like,
Yeah.
just-
Well, they advertise it so heavily. They're like, whoa, you know what? The one thing about PS4 is it's backwards compatible, unlike the Xbox One. And then next thing you know, it's like, well, you know, if you download the games, it's backwards compatible. Well,
Yeah.
not the discs. Well, we didn't say that. What?
So the downloadables are backwards compatible.
Yeah, so that's, I think if you have
Yeah.
the PS1, whatever the count thing is, the goal, what do you call it on that one?
PlayStation Plus.
PlayStation Plus, I think you can take all your shit and play, or you can also download old PlayStation 3 games.
Well, I might do that then. That's
What?
not so bad.
Well, you need fucking internet.
I'm pretty sure
Yeah,
there's like
buy 'em
emulators
again, I
that
don't
play
know.
those old games.
And then they
Yeah,
cost
see,
more
that's
when you
what I'm
download
wondering
them.
is
I'll
like,
probably-
Yeah.
I just want it so I can re-download
there's-
like Resident Evil 1, 2, and 3 because those are all downloaded
Well, there's
to my
rumors
PlayStation.
right now that PlayStation's
So-
trying to, what's it called? PlayStation. I can't remember exactly what it's called, but anyways, they're supposed to be releasing a PS1 and PS2 emulator for the PS4, so you can actually go back and like play all
That'd be
those old
sweet.
games.
Like an
Does that make
emulator
it-
or like
It's-
official PlayStation thing?
It's an official PlayStation like emulator for their
Oh,
old
okay.
old
for
games.
their games only. So
That's
probably.
cool.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that way I can go back and
I don't-
download the ones, because, like,
I
I've
mean-
got, like, the reshelled Turtles in Time that's, like...
I got that
wanna
one.
play, dude. I actually really like
I just beat that one
so-
again. The only thing, though, I wish they remade the Super Nintendo version, but instead of the arcade one. Because
I know.
strange enough, that's one of the few ones where the Super Nintendo one's much better. Plus, there's that extra level, too, in it that they take out in the... Or it's not in the arcade one.
I put emulators on my PSP. It's sweet.
I got that on my
Just
PSP.
go
I got my
back-
Wii.
Go back to pretty much any game, before.
Yep.
It's great on the Wii, though, because you can
PS1
play it on
and
the
back.
screen.
It's PlayStation 1 and back. You can, put any game in there. It's sweet.
I love it. You just download PlayStation game, put it on
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Legend of a Dragoon.
I have that one on mine, too.
Yeah.
Good game.
You can level up for days on that game.
Have you played with the
Doing
Vita
the
yet?
additions is so
Have
fun.
you played with the Vita yet?
No, I haven't
PS
yet.
Vita?
There's a guy at the gym that wants to sell me one.
They're so good. If you got a nice home network, like I'm able
I do
to
not have that,
take.
I'll tell you that. You might have lost me right there with that comment.
You can take this console with you pretty much anywhere, and anywhere that you're attached to a Wi-Fi network, you can access your home PS3 system and play your downloaded games on your PS3 through the Vita.
That's
That's
pretty
So like
awesome.
I'm sitting down at work like playing Shadow of the Colossus that's on my home console at home.
I
Like
could definitely do that.
that was really cool.
Pretty sure on the Vita you can get a PS2 emulator.
Oh yeah, I'm
So
sure.
you'd be like,
And the
going back to
touchscreen's
some
really
PS2
nice.
games.
Like
Has a touchscreen on it?
front and back touch.
I don't know why I'm like a surprise. But
No,
Did
they're,
you ever-
they're really cool.
I forgot. We can't have these fucking
I would-
multiple
I would-
conversations going on.
no one really liked it from the series, but I would go back to Final Fantasy X. That one was sweet.
That was the one I
Really?
almost
That's my...
beat.
That was
Dude,
one
that
of
was,
the-
I
that
know,
was the
no
where I
one
thought
liked it.
Final Fantasy was going downhill at 10 and on, dude.
I wrote an article on
Dude,
Twitter today
I
about
had
that.
a lot of fun on that game. Like,
Dude,
I
after
spent
10 and
so
on,
many
dude.
hours on it. It's insane.
Final Fantasy.
It's
Dude,
funny
so I
because
go sit in the
that's what
corner.
separates like the Final Fantasy fans. There's like 9 and back and 10 and forward.
I'm 9 and
I'm
back.
9 and back.
Everything after 10 sucked.
You get the
10 was
occasional-
great.
Because I remember 12 going over to John Bumgarner's house and him showing me. I'm like, fuck that. I
It
don't like
didn't
running
even-
around. If
it
I
didn't
can't
even
stand
cut-
there and press X a bunch of times, I'm pissed.
Seriously, dude.
That takes the whole point of RPGs.
You get the occasional
Exactly. It
7
wasn't
and
the
forward.
turn-based fighting style
Not those
after,
games
after
so
10.
often, you know what I mean?
After 10, they took out the turn-based fighting style, and it's like
10-2 had it.
it's
Actually,
all
10-2
about
is really
strategy, like planning out the battle and whatnot.
cool. I just don't like the
7,
running around part. It's just like, to me, it makes it feel like a cheaper game. Because it's not like, it doesn't play as smooth as, say, like Zelda, where you run around like that. I don't know, because all the ones I played, and some of them are like fine, like for PSP, the Crisis Core game, you ran around that one, but that game I think was just so cool story-wise and everything else. You kind of like went, whatever, I don't care, I'm playing a sequel to a prequel to Final Fantasy VII. But I keep buying RPGs every once in a while. I'll go out and buy something. I'm like, this looks cool. And I'll take them home and I'll play them for like an hour or two, and I go, it just doesn't fucking cut it. I've got to the point where I'm like,
So
you know what? If
many.
I'm going to play an RPG, I'm going to pick something from
So
PlayStation
many.
1 that I didn't play yet, and that will
No
be what I
kidding.
want.
Yep.
I'm like the one guy who hasn't played a whole lot of Final Fantasy here, but I have a quick question. Isn't there like a Final Fantasy, like, what was the most recent one, 13 or 14 or whatever?
I think they're on 13 or 14.
Yeah.
Or the
What
chick
was
with the
14's
purple hair, the
online?
chick with
the
the pink
online
hair.
one. I think
14
that's-
was the online one, I think.
Aren't they coming out with like a...
Yeah, that's the one
latest,
I
that's the
have
latest.
actually, which is great.
I know what you're
Is it?
talking
Aren't
about.
Aren't they
Really
coming
cool.
out with a sequel to that where it's all like
Like-
16-bit?
I don't think so. I didn't see
I
anything
thought I
about
saw.
that.
heard that,
I thought I
no.
saw something. Maybe it was just a fan made thing, but I thought I saw a thing where they're coming out like a downloadable version where it's like a 16-bit version of the game, like old
Of
school
13?
Final Fantasy. Yeah.
Wow.
Are they ever going to remake Final Fantasy VII?
I gotta say,
No.
13.
Well, no,
I
no,
bought
here's the thing.
ever-
That's the final card for Square. The second that Square starts losing money, they can always pull that card out.
Yeah.
Remake 7, you're back in the game once again.
Dude, they need to do
It is. Think
dude.
about it, because like no matter what, even if the game wasn't even the greatest, everybody would go out and fucking buy it.
Dude.
Everybody would. Even if you never played a Final Fantasy, you'd be like, I gotta be part of this.
Dude,
That was an awesome ringtone.
7 was amazing, dude.
Well, you know
7
what?
and 8 both, dude, were my favorites, of course.
On
but-
Final Fantasy, though, the guy who created Final Fantasy left after 9, though, so that can tell you something.
Yeah.
That's what
I bought 13. That one was horrible. I took it right back. I was just like,
remember
this is a horrible
Nate
game.
Bumgarner
I
told me
did
that was
not-
really good, but I don't know.
I played like 2. It was just like it turned into like doing missions and stuff where like you just jump levels and do missions, and like I did like 2 missions and I was like, I'm done with this. This
Yeah.
is just
See, the Square game that I'm playing right now is the new Kingdom Hearts HD remix, the
Uh-huh.
1.5 remix.
Was that the one that's the
it's-
remake of the first one?
Mm-hmm. Dude, it is so good. I forgot how good that game is because it's been so many years since I played it. But
I tried to play that game once. That was another one I played for about 2 hours. I just couldn't get into it.
Yeah, I know.
Same
I
here.
saw someone
I just
play
couldn't.
it.
I
saw
tried
someone
it.
playing it. I was like, I don't know.
I liked it. I wasn't blown away, but I liked it. I had the first two.
yeah.
The only good RPGs that I can really play nowadays that aren't remakes is Pokemon. That's the only thing because it still stays true.
It does.
Dude,
Dude, if you get a
It
3DS, you gotta get Pokemon X and
stays
Y. I've been
out.
telling
I've
this.
heard all about that.
I've been telling Dunigan this like every podcast for like the last 3 months,
And
but
still has done nothing.
yeah, he's done nothing about it. But dude, it is the best Pokemon since Red and Blue. I
Oh,
kid you
dang.
fucking not. It is amazing.
That
Really?
sounds
Good, huh?
It is
That's a
so
bold
good.
statement.
It is
That
a bold
statement.
I said that it was my favorite game of 2013. That's how much
Dude,
I
that's
liked
awesome. Dude.
Really?
it. I
Dude,
love that thing.
I'm very
I don't know,
enticed
man.
to
It's
play
almost
it.
convincing enough to get a 3DS.
Dude, I want to get.
You gotta get a
3DS
3DS,
either
dude.
way,
I can recommend you so many games. The new Zelda that came out, The Link Between Worlds, fucking awesome. You know, then you also got Ocarina of Time.
Oh, I'd love to go back and do.
if you're ever gonna play Ocarina of
Time
Time again, play it on the 3DS. It's so
I know.
cool.
I
I
did.
was back and played
I
on the
tried it at
GameCube.
Warp Tour. They had little demo ones, and I played the.
Well, the graphics are
Ocarina.
better.
Oh,
The
it's so-
controls are better. Well, Sora is better. I don't know about the Ocarina part though. That's always kind of like ever since the N64, the Ocarina's been less and less fun to play. But
What Nintendo really needs to do, they just need to like plop you in a fucking room, set their games in front of you, let them play. They go in front of E3 and just talk, dude, you gotta get the fucking 3DS, right? And they fucking tell you what's so fucking awesome with the fucking
slap the PSP other hand. No, fucking 3DS right here. What, you don't like Pokemon? What's wrong with you? When did you grow up?
Game Informer is like, well, Nintendo's taken an edgy response to their marketing department by hiring a former podcaster.
Oh, that'd be good times.
Did anyone get Final Fantasy 11 and play that one at all?
That was the
All
online one?
Yeah.
Last one I played was a little bit of 10.
Oh,
I didn't get that far in 10. I don't know. I'm just.
10-2 was the last one.
11 kind of
played
took
some
like
at
a
10 too,
World
but-
of Warcraft kind of route.
How was
Yeah.
What
that?
11 did. I thought it was great. It was
Okay.
like a great game. And then 14 just came out and I bought it and like it's just like 11 but just so like easier to control. Graphics are way better like
Well, I saw one.
and it's all Final Fantasy based, like everything's all like those kind of characters and everything and
I saw one that looked weird. There's like I don't maybe it was 15 or whatever, or maybe the trailer for 15, like a floating city, and it looked almost kind of like Gears of War like, because you'd be taking cover, people would be shooting at you, but when they're middle of reloading, you'd like dive at them with magic or your sword or something. Maybe it's a spin-off of some sort, just using Final Fantasy. To
I think that's the one that's
sell
called
it.
like the Lightning or something like that.
Yeah, Lightning.
Well, you're not playing as, because I know the girl's name is Lightning, and you're playing as a guy.
Oh, I got
and
close.
And maybe that's what it is, but it looked a lot of kind of like. It almost kind of looked like a cross between Gears of War and modern day Sonic the Hedgehog, because you're running,
You're running forward.
Well, it always looked like maybe it's something different. Maybe just like one section of the game, but it looked like you're constantly running down a straight, narrow way. A guy would be shooting at you. You take cover. When you have a chance, you dive at him with magic or a sword. It's really fast paced. So I don't know. We'll fucking see.
wow.
Strange. No, I haven't seen that yet.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just RPGs. It's like a lost world to me. It's like there was this time that it was like magical and awesome, and I just can't find it except for in Pokemon. But everything else, I can't find it.
I agree
And I've
with
tried
that
a lot of games, and so what I want is I want something that gives me that feeling of 7 or 8, Final Fantasy, but with really good graphics. That's all I really want. That's all I'm asking for, and I haven't found that yet, ever.
Fallout 3, man. It was
That
like
is-
by
that's
far
a
one of my
great-
favorites.
I loved
game.
Fallout 3. Fallout 3 was awesome.
I cannot wait. Like they keep
a
saying
great game.
rumors about Fallout 4.
New
Like,
Vegas was a little bit of a disappointment. I mean, it was still an enjoyable game.
I couldn't
but
get through it.
Yeah.
It was almost kind
not
of like
nearly as much as an impact as 3, but
it was still an enjoyable game, but it was one of those things like it's like, all right, well, you have to like the stuff you have to go do. Like, all right, well, if you want to get people on our side, go talk to these people in town. Oh, I'll go talk to these people in town. You got to help every single fucking person in town. Like, okay, I'll go help every fucking person in town. Like, oh, can you go all across the whole fucking wasteland and collect aluminum cans? Fuck this. I'm gonna be a bad guy. I'm gonna rape and pillage everything I fucking see right now. Because I just got so tired of being. I was trying to do the good guy thing. Like, fuck this. I'm done. It's taking too long to be a good guy. I'm just gonna kill everything.
Yeah.
See, I put like 100 hours in the Fallout 3, so by the time Fallout New Vegas came out, I was Fallouted. That's how I felt. Though. I was so burnt out on Fallout by that point that I was like, I loved it so much, but I was like, I'm not ready for another one yet. Give me some fucking
plus
time.
there was like all that to do, and then there was like several playthroughs if you wanted to actually experience. The
I said
game.
fuck
And
that. I
you're
was like,
just
I have other games to
I
play."
can't even do one playthrough. This is just no.
That's something that was stupid. It was the karma system, and it was fucking dumb because it'd be like, okay, because this was kind of cool. Like, the whole world wouldn't react to you. They would, like, individual groups would react to you, given how you treat them. That's cool. But what's stupid is that, okay, there's a group of, like, rapist killers I'm gonna go after. I'm in there, I killed everybody, I got karma for killing them. Well, I'm here, I might as well get some ammunition and health. I steal that, I lose karma from stealing from rapists and, like, murderers.
Yeah.
I lose karma from stealing from those guys. So, I don't know, just like, what the fuck? Someone didn't plan this shit out.
Yeah.
Well, every once in a while there's some things I'm like, no, that's just whoever created the game's opinion. It's not like a good or bad, it's opinionated thing.
Look, you
I
can
think,
kill,
I
but
think
God forbid you
my
steal.
favorite part about Bethesda and all their games is, like, Fallout 3 in particular. I have it on 360, PS3, and PC. And so I have, like, well over, like, 500 hours, like, all playthroughs between all those. And still, to this day, I can log into that game, run somewhere, and just be like, oh, I've never seen that before. There's a new item, there's a new weapon, there's, you know, a new mission, there's, you know, some random guy dying in the middle of a desert, you know, here's some water, okay, you're good. You know, like, it's just, like, I love that factor about
new
it.
time and
even
place kind of thing.
exactly, you know, and,
You
like,
have
the
to be at that
newest
place
one
at that
was...
time, or...
Yeah, the newest one that I've ran into was Skyrim. You know, like back in 2011, I bought that game on release on 360, and now I have it on PS3 and PC again. You know, it's another game that I just have multiple hundreds of hours in.
That's like Sonic the Hedgehog 2.
Yeah.
I don't know how many copies of that game I have. I have it for Genesis. I have that mega collection. I have it for the 360. I have it for my Wii. I have it for my Game Boy. I have it for the DS. I have it for Sega Dreamcast. I just have it for like so many things.
Yep.
There's just some games that are just damn good. I have them on my
Great
phone.
game.
Yep.
Did Bethesda do Dishonored too?
They published it.
Okay.
Dude, they did the Sonic RPG game.
Really?
Oh no, I take that. That was the Mass Effect people. My bad. I don't know. I got that confused there for a second. Kind of similar ballpark games.
Dude, I really like them just like do a new Knights of the Old Republic.
BioWare needs to.
They keep talking about the third one, and then LucasArts just went under.
Well, now it's owned by Disney too, so.
Well, like the section, but like LucasArts, the company, went down.
Mhm.
Now Disney owns the rights to like Star Wars games, but they're not going to use LucasArts anymore because it's gone. They're going to start branching out to outside companies.
Did you hear about DICE taking over the Star Wars Battlefront series? The guys that make Battlefield?
Yeah, I read that too.
That is going to be sweet.
Because well, that's what's going to happen though. Is now like different companies are going to take a Star Wars game instead of just straight up LucasArts.
I'm not too happy that EA has control of that, but at the same time, they're going to pump a ton of funding into it.
Well,
It's gonna
EA's
be
got the
amazing.
money. That's
Yeah.
the one thing.
Yeah.
It's not like they make games as nearly as much. They mostly just produce them.
Yeah. So have you guys like heard about? I'm sure you have about Steam machines. Have you read much about those?
What's a Steam machine? Oh, the Steam box.
Yeah, the Steam
Okay.
boxes.
Steam machine makes me reminds me like, oh, we're gonna get on Steam machines and go down to work today.
It's like a PC
Yeah,
program?
it's Steam or Valve, you know, is releasing an OS right now. This OS is in beta, and they call it just Steam OS. And basically, they're giving the rights to all these companies to like build machines, which are, you know, essentially consoles that you can put into your living room, and they're basically a PC that you can swap out parts and stuff. Like me being a PC gamer as of right now, like, 'cause I have such a nice rig, like I don't have any use for that, you know, whatsoever. But somebody moving from a console that wants a PC experience can like easily purchase one of these things. Like Alienware right now, apparently in September they're supposed to be released, $500.
Huh.
You know, and it's supposed to be like, I'm not exactly sure which card it has in it. I'm sure it's like a GTX 680 card or something. But, you know, they got nice little micro ATX processors and motherboards and all this. And apparently it's just supposed to be just a super powerful gaming machine that you can play on a big screen.
So like a PC games on your...
Well, about 15 years ago, they were trying to do that where you're maybe even older than that. Might have been late 90s. Might have been right before Xbox too.
Right.
They were trying to make something that you could play all your PC games, play them on the TV, and it was just a box. That's all it was for. It didn't, you know, it wasn't a computer necessarily, but you could play all your computer stuff. And that just kind of went away, and then the last, that Steam has been the box. I've been reading about that for a while by now.
Yeah.
I'm always kind of confused. I'm like, is it out already, or is I just keep reading about more
I think
updates?
it's this year. I'm pretty sure it's this year.
We're kind of behind the times when it comes to a lot of like new technology and system stuff coming out because like we're called Old Man Orange Podcast for a reason. We found
All
out
my
like,
stuff comes in the print media. Actually, speaking of print media, there's the coolest thing going on right now. If you got some extra cash, you should throw it down for this. It's on Kickstarter. There's these guys. They're trying to start up pretty much a new Nintendo Power because Nintendo Power went down a couple years ago.
Right.
And I actually got it because I was like, fuck it. I'm putting down $25, 2-year subscription. I'm there. I liked reading. not off the internet, but I like reading my physical fucking copy, and I'm sick and tired of Game Informer.
No, dude, I just found all my own Nintendo Powers.
I got the humongous stack of them still.
No, dude, it was a huge stack.
I had so many Nintendo Powers, and then my Game Pros. But like, I lost all my favorite ones. I lost Game Pro, I lost Nintendo Power, I lost Tips and Tricks, and I'm stuck with Game Informer. And I'm waiting for that day where I go to like, they're like, oh, you need to redo your card or whatever. And I go in there like, well, we don't got the physical copy of the magazine anymore. They'll be like, fuck you guys, I'm leaving, I'm never coming back. This is the only reason I was coming here. I hate you guys. I'm going to GameFly, fuck you. Let's see, what? Oh, it's in my, there we go, it's in my emails too. But no, you should check this out at least. What are they gonna, it's called, it has an interesting name. I funded it without even remembering the name. Well, you guys keep talking for a second.
Mario's Mustache Ride? I don't know what. I thought it was funny.
Well, I think it's just called the NF Magazine, and it's pretty much, they're just trying to say, like, hey, there's no more Nintendo Power, let's try to do this. And they got, like, I think $75,000 already.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
So,
What was it called again, the name of the magazine?
I think it's called NP.
NP, okay.
NP Magazine, Nintendo Power Magazine, but without Nintendo Power, just call it NP. One of those weird get-arounds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd be down to check that out.
But to me, it's just like one of those ones, I love the physical magazine. I was so bummed. And it's weird that you think video games is like, they're making more money than ever now, but for some reason, a magazine's kind of like a little too old-fashioned. Mm-hmm. Now, I do know that, because one thing, when you got magazines, a lot of times the reviews were a month old, so if there's a certain game you want, you just said, fuck, I'm buying it, and then you get the magazine later, it's like, dude, you should not have bought that. Like, well, yeah, my wallet doesn't know that, though. It had to suffer.
One other thing about Game Informer, we said this before on the podcast, but I think one of the other reasons why they were around so much is because, well, I mean, it probably doesn't take genius to figure out, and this doesn't sound like, I'm not trying to say conspiracy theorist, but they probably make deals with GameStop to say,
They are GameStop.
Oh, no.
That's
They are
it.
GameStop.
That's the only reason I'd ever subscribe to them is for my GameStop discount. Like, I don't even open them.
There's that, and then there's also, like, because if you notice certain games, like the games they always push on you at GameStop
They're
are the
always
games that always are like 9 or 10s, pretty much.
I mean, I still look forward to my Game Informer every month, because it's the only magazine to read, so I take what I get, and I'm grateful, but some of their times I always read, it's just like, you guys, I hate the reviews sometimes.
Their reviews are so horrible. It's like,
they'll review games, they'll give it like a 6 out of 10, I'll play them like, dude, this game is fucking awesome, what's
exactly.
wrong with you guys?
It's like,
And then they'll give
their
10 to
opinion
10s
is
to some
just
things.
So, like you said, market-based pretty much, to where Game Informer tells them sell these games, and then they market them.
You could tell because they never really come at you saying, you want to pre-order the new 3DS game, and even though like Star Fox for 3DS got like what was it, like a
They
9
got
or something?
8 out of 10.
Yeah, well, that's still good. But that was like in the way back, didn't even have a picture.
Yeah, no, it had like that, like the little back section they give like 2 sentences to.
Right.
Star Fox.
You call it
The
the fuck
remake-
you section, right?
Yeah, I always call it the fuck you section. It's where I always go, because it's probably where the games I want.
Suit of D1 games and all that.
Yeah, I know, because they never get. Well, this last one sort of did, but they gave it like a 6.
So
and I love that game. It
pretty
wasn't
much
his best
those
one,
big
but
franchise games are just paying, someone to write a really good review about them and
yeah.
throwing it in a magazine.
So
pretty
they
much.
still do have physical copies being sent out then, huh?
Yeah, I'm one of the people. I'll tell you that.
Because GameStop...
You give me a call every single time you want to know if that's still going on. And I'll be like, yeah, it's still here.
Well, last time, like... Cause
You send me a telegram.
I still get mine sent to my mom's house, apparently, all the time, because that's where my address is, according to GameStop. But they're pushing on me so hard to have the, electronic copies that you get emailed, and I'm like, I don't want to sit on a computer and, like, go through tabs, and, like, read a magazine that way. Like, no.
Well, so I remember one time for Christmas, I got this Rolling Stones, like, magazine collection thing, and it was, like, had from, like, day 1 till, like, 2010. And it was like, this is really cool. You can go back and look at all these old, like, Soundgarden and all these articles and stuff and movies and whatnot. But there is that kind of thing. It's like, when you're on the computer, it's not the same as reading a magazine. Like, and I could read, like, an article somebody wrote about, like, Zelda Online. And I think just the way it's structured, it's made for, like, online reading. Where a magazine, when you're looking at it on the computer, just feels strange and weird. And,
you want to throw it in that pile of magazines right next to the toilet, It's like, I'm there every day.
I'm not taking my electronic devices in there. What are you, crazy?
Like, it's a...
I mean, at least Game Informer they always give Zelda, it seems like a 10. out of 10. That's about the only Wii game. They gave a 9.5 to Mario World,
Yeah.
or the one for the Wii U.
Well, those are the like only like Nintendo stuff they really push on you. Is like either Mario or Zelda, but everything else is kind of like Kirby. Who gives a fuck, you know?
You know, yeah.
Metroid, fuck that. You know?
Yeah, and they didn't give like Sonic 4 Episode 2. It sounds really weird, but that game was fucking awesome. It was the closest thing you're ever gonna get to a real sequel to Sonic 1, 2, 3, and Knuckles.
Oh, nice.
It's so awesome. I think it's $15 on Xbox or PlayStation, but it's so worth it. It's so cool. And that they didn't even mention that whatsoever in Game Informer. They mentioned the first episode, which that one was decent, not amazing, you know, not that spectacle we were all waiting for. But the episode 2 is really cool.
Mm-hmm.
I think they did a great job on the downloadable Mega Man 10 and 11. Did you ever try those out?
Those ones really well because you know they're hard.
I mean,
dude.
they're difficult and like you know,
hard.
it was really difficult, but like
Are those
they
ones
were
that go
good
back to 8-bit?
sequels.
Are those
Yeah,
ones that go back to 8-bit?
right back to 8-bit. Like started on 10, I think, and did 11.
I think so, yeah. Because Mega Man 9 came out for Super Nintendo.
Yep, and that was like pretty much the
Well, they
last
never
of it.
released it in the U.S., so it's kind of confusing when they do that. It's like, well, the Mega Man 8 was technically the last one you guys probably saw, but... That's like Final Fantasy, where they're like, you know, there's Final Fantasy 1, 2, 3, but in Japan, 2's 4 and 3's 6.
Mhm.
And nowadays, I always say, like, whenever people call it Final Fantasy 3, it's like, talk about the real 3. Like, we've kind of gone over this a bunch of times. If you say, you know, 3... Don't say 3 is 6. Just say 3 is 3 and 6 is 6.
We still got Mario in the Lost World.
Oh yeah, Mario.
Mario's lost levels. That's
You know what bothered me
it
on like Nintendo? Like,
Oh, they're gonna see the GameStop story.
oh well,
Lost
that's
levels.
another good story too. But this is sometimes okay on the Wii when you could download games. I remember when they first put the Lost Levels on there, and okay, it's a download, right? They charge you an extra $1 because they call it an import, and it's like, well, one's like, what the fuck? The difference does it make? It's this one, they're all games. Two, it's
They're all
like,
from fucking Japan.
yeah, they're all downloaded. Like, come on.
But no, there's that one time you're in GameStop. I think this is a funny story. I don't know if you ever said it in the podcast, but
I don't know. We might have. I remember Nate Bumgarner told us he's like, oh, they had this sweet thing where you could get like the Super Mario All Stars for the Wii.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh yeah, well, he's like, they might still have some copies. And we're like, fuck it, we're gonna go, because he like just got it that day or the day before. It wasn't that far off. So we raced down there or whatever, and we're like, well, let's just see if they got a copy of it. And we go to talk to him, and the lady's like, well, that was a pre-order exclusive. You know, what, you guys didn't know? And I was like, no, you guys pushed like Assassin's Creed or something on me. You didn't push this. Why the hell would you not tell me about this? And then she goes on to tell, she's like, well, it includes a never-before-released game. And I just kind of was like, no, that game was fucking released a long time ago. I know, I was there.
and then she corrected you.
Yeah.
And she corrected you like, no, it's a brand new game that never came. Then I remember we go like a few steps down to like this burrito place.
That doesn't
you're
exist
sitting there,
anymore.
and you're sitting there eating the taco like, that fucking cunt tell me I don't know what I'm talking about. You're just sitting there brooding like, that fucking bitch was correcting me in my Mario knowledge. Fuck her, I'm never going back.
And I still have multiple scripts of this. Like, we have this episode we want to do at some point where it has like called like the Game Shop or whatever. And it has like all that dialogue from that lady in there is one of the characters.
So you're just brooding over your taco like, fuck that bitch. Just like, just fuming, just pure hatred.
Well, do you guys have the same feel? This is how we feel about GameStop though. Is like, I hate going to GameStop though. It really ruins buying video games for me. But you go there because it's like the only place to go. You know, you could buy it off Amazon, but I don't want to wait like, you know, a week plus for my game to come in.
When I went there to like get Grand Theft Auto 5, I was just like, because I had some extra money. I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna go in there and buy Grand Theft Auto 5. It's not pre-ordered, but it's Grand Theft Auto 5. They should have extra copies.
Yeah.
So I go in there, and I just go up like, hey, can I get a copy of Grand Theft Auto 5? Like, yeah, sure. Can I see your receipt? I'm like, I don't have a receipt. I just want to buy a copy of Grand Theft Auto 5. He says like, you didn't pre-order it? I'm like, no. Well, you know, you're supposed to pre-order it. And like, it's Grand Theft Auto 5. It's like, yeah. It's like, you didn't think people would just walk in wanting one? Just like, you didn't order extras? Yeah. He's like, well, you know, just... That he's like, well, I could... There's a copy that's been... I didn't, like, really try and twist his arm or nothing. There's a copy that's been here for the last 3 days. The guy didn't pick it up, so... I can sell it to you. Hopefully he doesn't have to come. So he sold me this other guy's copy. And I didn't twist his arm. He's like, he probably won't come in. We're going to get a shipment tomorrow, so... I still fear that guy's been hunting me this whole time. Like, that's the guy that took my copy.
Players
Yeah, I
Kingdom
just-
was so much better.
I love Players Kingdom.
Players
and I
Kingdom
miss
was so
all
much
the
better.
stores like that. Not only just Players Kingdom, but just being able to go to any town and find the mom and pop used game store and new game store.
Like, yeah,
Yeah, that
Pro Game Exchange, yes.
that was a great one.
It's just like, yeah, I hate GameStop. It's like, I'm so close to the point, like, if it wasn't for that, maybe the Game Informer magazine, because that's really all I got, and if I didn't have so many points on my card already and I need to get, like, another prize, that's, like, my only reason I sometimes go there. It's like, I'm so close to going, like, fuck you guys. I'm just gonna buy, like, you know, Gamefly will sell you some pretty good shit for way cheaper. You know, and then, you know, I'll take Amazon, whatever, I'll wait. You know, it's fine. If that's how it has to be.
See, that's like why I like being a PC gamer for Steam reasons personally. Like, I can like have it on my phone to where like Steam will remind me like, say if I put a game onto my wish list on there, it'll be like, hey, this game's on sale. It's like, wow, I just got Max Payne 3 for 80% off at like $2.99. You know, like.
Well, that's the one thing nice
Nice.
about PC games. Those are always, and they've always
So
been like
cheap.
this for 20 years. They're always cheaper than the console games.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, brand new, they're already $10 cheaper.
Yeah.
But then later on down the road, they're way cheaper.
Yeah.
But I need the
buy,
physical
like,
copy though.
collections
Exactly,
for, like,
dude. I was
20
just about to
bucks.
say the thing is that I want my physical copy. Dude.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah,
I don't
no,
like
I understand
downloading.
I have to be, well, one, I don't have internet. Two, I really need the physical copy. And I do have a hard time kind of paying a lot of money for something I don't have a physical copy. If I'm downloading a game on my 3DS for like $5, I don't mind. You know, whatever. If it's under 10 or so, that's not a big deal. But if I can be spending more than that, I want something I can take home.
Yeah.
No, dude, it's like I went online to see if Diablo is any cheaper as downloadable, dude. $60. So
Yep.
60 for a
Dang.
physical copy, 60 for download. I'm like, are you serious?
Well, I think the reason why they
Why not
can't
just bring
charge
home the
less for the
disc?
downloads though is because, okay, say if like, because really it's like you don't have to print out another case, a booklet, a disc. You don't have to ship them anywhere. You really are saving a lot of money by just doing the downloads. But I think this is the thing: if they made the download cheaper, people like Best Buy and Walmart and GameStop be like, whoa, whoa, whoa. People, if you make that game like $20 cheaper
No
than the
one's
physical
gonna
copy,
buy
nobody's
the
gonna fucking
disc.
buy it. We're gonna go
Yeah.
under. And I
See,
think there's some
that's-
law about that.
Well, that's what's happening exactly in Steam. That's what I'm talking about. Like, they keep having these Steam sales where, like, full retail games will drop, like, 80%, like, upwards of 80%. So, I mean, Metro Last Light just came out last year. It's just, like, really cool game. But anyways, originally $60. I just picked it up, like, not but a couple months ago for, like, 75% off for, like, $12.50.
There we
Like,
go.
how, I mean, that's I know exactly what you're talking about, like how that can kill like actual physical retail stores.
Yeah, that would.
But I don't know. I mean, it's it's kind of the way the market's going right now is all digital. I mean,
Well, I know, like all the systems too nowadays, you can download every game. Before it used to be like you could download them like 6 months after, and now it's just like day one.
Day one.
But I feel like until we get to the point, it's either just go straight downloads and make them cheaper, or I'm still gonna go with my physical copy. But
No, I hate the fact that I have like 60 games on my hard drive on my computer. It's just like that's the weirdest feeling, like not having stacks of cases everywhere. But
Yeah.
well, the one thing always blows my mind. I just think of this just being like getting older is. I have that SD card for my Wii, and that card has every Nintendo game, every Super Nintendo game, every Game Boy Advance game, every Genesis game, and so on. And it's like, it's the size of my thumb. My thumbnail, like that. That's it. If you took all those cartridges, you could fill up this room and swim in it like Scrooge McDuck. It blows your mind when you think about it.
Yeah.
Well, something we should probably talk about is your guys' band. It's one of the reasons we brought you on. So, unless you guys have any closing words on the video games, or something you want to say real quick, or good on that?
No.
Gotta love them.
I love them.
I was there for you.
Playing that game.
So I actually got a CD from you guys this morning, and I listened to it. I'm not really big on death metal, but I liked your guys' CD a lot. I thought it was really awesome. I can't really pinpoint what your influences are, but because I don't really listen to a lot of death metal, but I still thought it was really awesome. I especially like the intro you guys had at the very beginning where you took like the train man from Matrix 3.
I'm glad you recognized
Yeah.
it, dude.
I'm like
it.
one of Spencer and I'm like one of the only, we're like one of the only
We're
two
like the
people,
defenders of the faith for Matrix 2
like,
and 3.
yeah, we're like the only
Yeah.
people that like it. So
Yeah.
I'm guessing you guys like it somewhat
Dude,
if it's on there.
I did like the third one, dude.
I like
so.
them all. They're great.
Okay, all right.
I'm the Matrix fan,
So just
so
watch the first one. them last night.
I love all three of them. I got them
Yeah.
on Blu-ray recently.
Yeah.
RJ mentioned we should have like some kind of movie quote in our CD somewhere and showed me a few, and I was just like, dude, I thought of one like from The Matrix. It just happened to be. I was like, that's the quote we need right there.
Yeah.
Well, it almost sounds kind of like it's Satan talking, right? Before,
Exactly,
like,
like it kind of sets the vibe for the whole thing is what we liked about it. So
Yeah.
Album.
it's just creepy sounding, kind of.
now I'm going to go with the very because I never really did an interview before, so I'm going to do the very generic questions. What are probably the main bands that influence you guys? Like
Carnifex.
Carnifex?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Whitechapel.
Dude, I still have your
Cannibal
Carnifex CD at my house.
Cannibal Corpse, I'm guessing?
I've listened to Cannibal
Corpse,
Corpse
or-
quite
Yeah, I
a bit.
listen to Cannibal Corpse. Yeah.
love Cannibal
Suicide
Corpse.
Silence. I love Infinite Annihilator. Let's see, like, what's some other...
Angel Maker, Rose Funeral, Science of Sleep.
Boris the
But
Blade.
dude, we're-
Between the Buried and Me, that one at all? Or?
Yeah, dude, I like Between the Buried and Me a lot.
Cradle?
Their first album.
Is
yeah,
Blood
dude, of
Runs
course.
Black.
Phil.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I got into a lot of like technical deathcore too. Like one of my favorite, like, or not deathcore, but death metal. I really like this band called Necrophagist, and they're just like German, just super fast, super complex. You know, like all their sweep styles and everything that they're working on is all just like classical scales. Like this guy, I guess, like I read up on his bio. And this guy ended up starting off as like a classical musician, and then ended up switching over to guitar. And he's just like, he's so good. Like
You hear about that every so
That's
often.
like Yngwie Malmsteen.
Thy Art is
Die
Murder.
Artist Murder, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely a great influence of ours. And
Well, first you'd probably say what each of you play in the band, so real quick, just for the audience.
I play the drums. So.
Oh yeah, vocals.
That's Josh. Just me.
RJ's vocals.
Yeah, and Cameron, I'm a lead guitar.
We'll have to bring the other two on at some point. I feel kind of bad because the thing is we didn't want too many people, like seven
Oh, yeah,
people talking
definitely,
over
dude.
each
Well,
other.
because I've listened to podcasts before when they got kind of more than 5 people, and you have no idea what's going on.
Exactly.
And
yeah.
I was like, if we did a video podcast where you could see everybody's face and
Yeah.
match the voices with it, I think it would work. But
Yeah,
you know, because Rooster Teeth does that, and they have like
it's my
sometimes
favorite
6
company ever.
to 8 people sometimes, but they do it with a video so you can tell who everybody is.
I didn't even watch the video one. I would listen to it, but after a while, I picked up on people. Plus, they had people rotating out of it and all
Yeah.
that.
I looked at the video one once because I was like, oh, I gotta see what a video podcast looks like. Because the only other ones I've seen are like the ones that looks like they're on the Radio House, like Howard Stern or something.
I know their podcast. Their one. They look like they're filming like on like Fallon or something. It's like a whole studio they
There's,
got
like,
set up.
couches and
Couch
everything.
Yeah. But no, but back to your guys' stuff. Yeah, I listened to the. I listened. Like, yeah, let's talk about fuck it. Let's not talk about Premarital. Let's talk about Rooster Teeth for a while. No. I actually my favorite song I've heard on the thing was number 3, which is Fatality, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's probably my favorite song.
That
I've
good
ever-
was, that was the second song we wrote as a band. So.
Yeah. That was actually, we wrote that, and it was just me and Josh.
Yeah,
Like,
we
that
wrote
was- that
2
was the
songs.
band at the
Yeah,
time.
me and RJ got together and wrote 2. I wrote 2 songs, and he does vocals, and then we recorded a little demo at my brother's house, and like I asked Cameron to join the band because me and Cameron were in a previous band like about a year before that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And then I knew one member, and then he happened to know another guy, so that's just
Yeah,
kinda
we
how it
kind of formed the
it.
band off of Dismembered Riddance and Fatality.
Did
Those
you
were the first 2
catch
songs.
Shao Kahn in Fatality, though?
The what?
Shao Kahn's in the end of Fatality. He says finisher right in the end of Fatality, actually.
That's what that was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wasn't sure if that was you or Shao Kahn.
No, that was Shao Kahn, dude.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
Cause you get your voice pretty
Just
deep.
because,
That's what I thought actually when I
Fa-
first heard it. I was like, "Dang, that sounds pretty close to our vocals." Like, blends right
Fatality,
in there.
The name of that song's influenced by
Yeah.
Mortal Kombat, so.
Yeah.
Did you guys
Oh,
see
makes
47 Ronin?
No, dude.
Well, it had Shao Tsung from Mortal Kombat. The movie was in that one.
Yeah.
But he was like 300 pounds and a pouty face.
Yeah,
all the
he's
time.
I am the Emperor.
He's almost kind of. He almost kind of came out like Usha not Bishamo, you know. But no, anyway, this is from someone who's not a musician in any way whatsoever. So there's when you guys write a song, do you generally kind of go in with like, all right, here's something I want to write about and have a song about, or do you go in like, I came up with the beat, now let me work in the lyrics, or is it something kind of in the middle, or does it depend on the song?
Generally, I think the music comes first.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. Like,
Well,
Lyrics.
it's like you fit the
Usually
lyrics in the
RJ's
music.
like 2 or 3 songs ahead of the actual music.
Like,
on the lyrics.
Lyrically, yeah, like I
Yeah.
usually read ahead lyrically, and then
And
I
then
usually
like
just
we'll
pick and
chop up
choose.
the lyrics to fit into the song.
Oh, alrighty. Okay.
Kinda. Like we'll take words out here and there and like repeat parts and all that kind of stuff.
All right.
That's how I've always done. I like pieced it together. Like it's never like
Yeah.
that fluid. Like okay, here's a guitar part, and then here goes the lyrics. It's more like here's some lyrics, here's a guitar section. Let's see how these work together now.
Yeah. And it was actually like really interesting being in the studio for the last 4 months or so, because this is the first time like I've ever gone to a studio setting, like actually sat down, had the earphones on, you know, and like started jamming out to our songs. And I don't know, man, it was just such an awesome experience. And I'll give like a huge shout out to Jordan Reyes, the guy that recorded us. Man, he is just amazing with everything he
Did
does.
a great job.
Now, did you record this in
Knew
like
exactly
an actual
what we
studio, or did
wanted,
it like at a
so-
home studio?
It was a home studio.
Home
Okay.
studio.
But dude, it was really like set
Like,
up
in a
pretty well,
bedroom,
dude.
like-
Yeah.
Home studio.
Because I've always just done things, you know, either Pro Tools or Sony Acid, and just
I don't know what he was
No, we
using,
were-
but
we were
He
lined
just he
into,
knew exactly what we wanted.
Ableton
Like,
was the program.
I just
that we
gave
were
him a
using.
couple references, like a few bands that influence us, like
Mhm.
Angel Maker and Cast from Perfection.
yeah,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
How'd you guys? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say he's just really easy to work with. You know, like say if you have like an idea for something, like for example, like when we wrote my sweeps, you know, like we're working on these different techniques and stuff, and I started out trying to like play them at regular speed. Couldn't get it down right, you know. So Jordan just comes up with this idea, like, hey, let's play it in halftime, and then you know speed it up. So we played it in halftime, you know, and then like I got used to that metronome, and then eventually, you know, just like the sweeps came, and he's just teaming with these ideas, you know, of like how like we can progress and like do it most efficiently. And like over those 4 months, it was just this huge learning process of us taking like each part of a song and like just really focusing on it to, you know, like working through that entire section again, but just like doing it in one take, and then like just picking out different parts, you know, and like fixing things. And I don't know, it was just like I said, just the learning process of that was just a lot of fun. It was really cool. And
You
I don't know.
guys have your big EP release like next weekend,
On
right?
Friday.
Friday, yeah.
Next Friday.
Less than a week.
how many songs you got on that one?
7.
Nice.
yeah.
How you guys land on Premarital Death for the name?
Josh came up with it.
Yeah, we actually talked about starting the band for like a good. It was probably like 9 months at least. We were just talking about it, throwing it
Brainstorming
around.
names.
Yeah, and we were just like kind of throwing band names back and forth. Like one was Anubis, like before we landed on
Then we found out
Premarital
that was
Death.
already a band.
That's supposed what happens in life. You go, God damn.
Yeah, and then actually like one morning I just woke up and like just like thought of it and like just texted him. I was like, hey, what about this? And then like we just decided
No,
on it.
just-
It was kind of a wake up thought. Like
Yep.
Especially with the
like-
best thoughts, actually. Sorry,
I
cut you
mean
off.
maybe I
No,
had
no,
to.
that's cool.
I don't know. After I slept and had a dream or something, I don't know. Just woke up and I was like, oh, that's our band name.
Yep.
Dreamt about it.
Perfect for the music we play, so.
Yeah, I like that. When I first saw the name, I was like, that's fucking awesome. That's a great name.
Yeah, I was just telling them, RJ and Cameron earlier, like, when we first started the band, people would ask, like, oh, what's your band name? And I'd be kind of nervous to even say it, like, at first.
Like,
But now I'm just like, oh, we're Premarital Death, yeah.
Yeah.
We're kind of heavy, but...
I don't know. It's so nice to have something out on CD finally to like show people, you know, because we've played all over the place so far, you know, like down in the a couple of shows down in the valley, mainly up here in Sonora, but you know, it's just like it sucks to like route somebody that you know like watch your band once and then they hit you up on Facebook and is like, where's your material at? And you're like, oh well, go watch our live performances on YouTube. It's like you're not getting the best quality out of that,
It's like
you know.
off
So-
my iPhone pretty much 95% of the time, besides a couple videos.
I
you
got
took
that
of
one. I
my
still have another one in my
Spencer.
house with
oh
you
yeah,
gotta get
yeah,
for me
the
at some
first
point.
one.
The second one, actually.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Well, the key thing I always think from just doing music myself is that one, the recorded material is like the most important thing nowadays to have. And to me, I think almost even more important than the shows is the music video, just for the fact that that's where you can get this huge wide audience. Because you know, no matter what, you can only do live shows in a certain mile radius, but you can put your music videos up, and people in Australia and Africa and Europe and everywhere is going to be able to see it. That's the key thing I always think. And then you tie that in with your song, and you got a double whammy.
Yep. No, that's what
Definitely
we
true.
just posted up our single onto SoundCloud. You know,
Uh-huh.
so on SoundCloud you got like your statistics, and then what it does is it takes like all your plays and it breaks it down by country. And right now we're like sitting at like number one's United States, second one is Canada, the third one's UK, fourth is the Netherlands, and the fifth is Australia.
Nice.
And it's just like it's so cool to sit back in a little teeny town like we're in right here and be like, dude, there's people in the Netherlands like
Dude,
listening to us.
That's like
you know, like
the
checking out
podcast
our
here is like
album
that
now.
too. I
Yeah.
look at that all the
Yeah.
time. You know, we get stuff from all kinds of places. Argentina, Australia. We had a humongous amount from Nigeria. I don't know what that was all about. But, I mean, we had like 500 downloads in like a week from like Nigeria. It was weird.
Really?
Yeah. You know, and then, you know, obviously Canada, U.S., and everything else.
Probably the whole population over there.
Yeah, I was like, does everybody get off work and say, okay, today is the day, we all download one podcast, this is what we do, we just test one random one out, put the podcast in the hat, we'll draw names.
500 people in the whole community. What should we do today?
I could not figure that
Let's
one out.
download it.
All these guys talk about is like butt fucking and Bruce Springsteen.
Oh man.
Well, it's like, Josh, your brother keeps hitting me up for like doing a video, and he wants me to do a live video. It's like, I don't really have the equipment to do this live video. I know, like, you
Yeah.
think I have all these, like, I don't know if he just thinks because he sees, like, the one I did for, like, Drop Dead Gorgeous and, like,
Yeah.
Number 12 Looks Like You and Alisana. It's like, well, yeah, but that was kind of there was, like, a bunch of guys that got together that all had their own equipment, and that's how it worked, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like, I got a camera, I can make a music video. I can make a
Yeah.
music video really
Yeah.
good because, you know, that's all editing, you know? But it's like that live video thing, it's like, I don't have all the plugins for it.
Yeah.
Right.
They got an okay one from their first show or whatever. But
Yeah, he really wanted me, and he was like, and then like he kept giving me like this information, is like slow like information. He's like, well, yeah, we're gonna have it on Friday. Oh, cool. And then like the last thing is like, well, it's gonna be like, what time is it? Oh, it'll be at 9 o'clock. I'm like, well, where is it gonna be? That's where I want to know. I'll come by and I'll shoot you one, just like how I did for you guys. So then you
Yeah.
can at least go home and say, okay, that's what we look like.
yeah.
And he's like, oh, it's at Orangeville or whatever at the Warfield or what do you call that?
Yeah.
The boardwalk.
Boardwalk. And I was like, oh, well, at one, I don't want to drive 3 hours away. Two, like I won't be able to get there in time.
Yeah.
I thought it was gonna be somewhere closer.
Jeez. Yeah. I wish Vistaro would play with us.
Yeah,
I
we
want-
tried to get them up to our EP release, like, when we first had it scheduled in January, but didn't work out because the album took a little longer than planned. But
Yeah.
You guys play a lot at the Gypsy Shack, which is probably the coolest bar in the whole county.
Oh,
I would
yeah.
It's the
say.
best bar in the county, man.
Yeah.
Chris and Tina, they're just amazing people. You know, the owners out there, and they've always been so generous and just like so motivational to us. You know, like we want you guys to play.
Mhm.
You know, so I don't know, really cool place.
I know they really like bands that have their own originals and don't do covers. I noticed that.
Yeah,
That's good because
Yeah.
nobody likes bar bands.
exactly, like,
Just talking about this the
Why would
other
we
day.
wanna
Like,
be a
why
bar
do you
band?
want to go out and play a bunch of Bob
Sorry.
Seger songs and whatnot? and
Exactly.
have a bunch of like 45-year-old fat ladies dancing.
And like
course.
Leonard Skinner
you're
and
never gonna make money.
Well,
doing
like
that.
I get so sick of those like that kind of like 70s blues rock style music. I remember when I went to Nashville for a bit. I didn't see any country there, and I saw almost no metal. And I felt bad for the metal bands I did see because they had like 12 people show up. To that. It's in a fucking major city. Yeah, I felt there's one guy there. I was from you know that band Stabbing Westward from the 90s?
Yeah.
The singer from that band, who has tons of gold records and all kinds of awards, he had this new band called The Dreaming or whatever, and he was doing this tour. There was probably 20 people at his show, and 12 of them were from the fucking opening band. I felt so bad for this guy. This is a guy who has probably gold records up on his wall, because I went home and I researched this guy. I was like, holy fuck. He did music for all kinds of big movies, from like Batman Forever, and I can't think of any more off the top of my head, but big ones from the 90s, all this stuff, and it's just like, here's this guy, and he's got 8 people that showed up to see him, really, because I'm not going to count that opening band that had like 12 members. It had like a ton of members, just like that one where like all the friends like, we can't leave Billy out.
well, it's kind of not
Give him
as
fucking cymbals. He can go up there and just bash him and stomp his foot.
not as sad as that, but when it kind of worked out for us because we got to meet him. But we went to go see Wednesday 13 when he was playing in that. I mean, it was a cool little like bar in Fresno,
But it was tiny.
but it was tiny, and there was like there's about 20 people there to see him, and then everybody kind of came to see like the band that played before him, and they left pretty much.
And well, yeah, and the rest
So-
of people there are kind of those people that just stumble in like, hey, there's music going on. Let's go see what this is. But, yeah. I can't remember
Yeah,
where I was
we're
going with
actually
that
playing
one.
a big show in
That
Walnut
was blues
Creek.
rock. That's what I'm talking about. Blues rock. I'm sick and tired of that 70s style blues rock. You just see too much of that crap.
We have a big show in Walnut Creek coming up on like the 21st.
Badass.
Yeah, with
February.
Moto
Awesome.
Grader.
Yeah, we haven't even been
Yeah,
a
with
band
Moto
for a
Grader.
year yet, and we're playing with
Where's the
Moto
Moto Grader? Is that a band?
Grader.
Yeah,
I thought it was a
and
club or something.
They have
From
like
the
a
90s.
YouTube video
Really?
that has like a 950,000 views.
Maybe
Yeah.
early 2000s. I'm not sure.
Really? Oh,
I
wow.
think they're mid-90s. I'm pretty sure.
And where are you playing with them at?
Walnut Creek.
Walnut Creek on the
Creek.
Yeah, the
21st.
Red
I thought that was
Nice.
2 separate shows. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's I don't know. That's a big move for us to get out of the hills and inching down
Yeah,
towards the
pretty
bay.
much the Bay Area. So.
Yeah,
That's
Getting
awesome.
close, yeah.
yeah.
Then we
So-
like we've hit the Valley, Merced, Modesto series.
Nice.
We're gonna be hitting Merced
Mm,
and Modesto in series, and
yeah. Now we just need to shoot
Getting
north.
a lot of good feedback
We
from
need to
all of
hit
them.
Sacramento, and then we need to hit Fresno, and then eventually get down to LA.
it's just hard because everywhere we want to hit is travel.
Yeah, well,
and
it's
it's
the
far.
cost.
It's like the guy from Walnut Creek actually hit us up, and he was like, usually like, because we have to pre-sell tickets, so usually he says that the bands come to the venue and pick up the tickets themselves. But he was like, I didn't realize how far away you guys actually were, and that you won't be able to drive 3 hours just to pick up these tickets. So
No.
Yeah, it's like,
mail
can you
them
ship it to
us,
them? Yeah.
But yeah, just everywhere's so far away from Sonora.
Yeah.
We are traveling a distance to play this show.
But I
dude.
mean, it's worth it, dude. Because like I said, we're like paying for exposure. So if you ask me,
Yeah, that's kind of
worth
what you
the
got to pay
price.
for advertising somehow.
Yeah.
You know, you're not gonna just get it for free. Now, I see the next thing, since you got the CD out though, I think that will be the big thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because really, until you kind of have a CD or a music video or both, it's kind of hard to show yourself farther than the people that see you at concerts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's what I think that's what I'm most excited for is the exposure of passing those around, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently, like,
And just the internet upload, like
Yeah.
once it's on the internet, anyone in the world can get it. Like you were saying, the Netherlands, Australia, like
you know,
Now, do you do a lot of like social networking? Because that seems like the main thing you gotta do is put that like, you know, I always say 50% of it is making the project. The other 50% is going out there and telling you
Yeah.
about it.
Exactly.
The advertising is such
Public
a big
relations.
I do a lot of that. I mean, I post on Reddit.com. You know, I do the Tumblr pages. I do Twitter. I do Facebook, and I do all these different things for Premarital Death. You know, like. So, I mean, we're out there. Just a couple more things I need to do, such as like a Bandcamp page. It's pretty much like the last thing I need to do. And then we need to get our stuff up on iTunes, too. So.
Did you ever use what's that site called now? I just do it, Brian. It was like that. There's one site. It was pretty much made as a social network, but it was just for bands.
Originally, it was MySpace.
Yeah, it was
Is
just
it-
a-
No,
Yeah,
not
seriously.
MySpace. But yeah, MySpace was the original one of that. I just totally drew a blank on
whatever
it.
happened to
know.
profile songs.
And flashing lights.
Incoherently.
Yeah.
Like 50
My-
different links.
I already wasn't a fan of him, but MySpace made me hate Jack Johnson so fucking much.
I can't remember the last time I was on MySpace.
Oh, Reverb Nation. That's it.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
okay,
We
yeah.
should.
We should actually.
That
put
one's a
music
pretty
up
good
on
one. You
there.
start
That
getting some
one's
pretty good
pretty
exposure
popular.
from that.
Yeah, Reverb Nation.
I mean, what I've always learned is you can only really maintain so many websites. You never want to get yourself overloaded.
Yeah.
You know, because I mean, you feel like at first you're like, well, I'll just get fucking 10 different ones. Then you realize like I don't have time to manage more than 5.
No.
Mm.
Yeah.
Like I stick to about 3 main ones, and then I have a couple other ones. It's like, you know, I really stick to Podomatic, Newgrounds, and Twitter, and then YouTube and whatever else comes next. Vimeo.
Yeah.
Sometimes I don't really actually. I just upload on Vimeo. I don't go any on there.
Facebook's kind of like a deserted wasteland because we'll both post on Facebook, but like nothing really. Never
The
get
only-
much of a bite from Facebook. Really.
The downfall of Facebook is I always feel like Facebook's sort of like people you know in your county, where I like where Twitter kind of reminds me of old school internet, where it's like people you know you don't know from everywhere in the world, but for some reason you have more in common with these folks than some of these people you have on like Facebook. You're like, well, I knew that person in high school.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean we had anything. We never even talked, you know.
Yeah.
But for some reason they really think we're friends now.
Nah, dude, I don't know. Facebook seems to help the band a lot. Like a lot of people seem to be supportive.
it?
Plus, like
Probably because it's a county thing
little
since you're playing
bit.
live shows.
A
I
yeah,
little
think
bit,
that's
but
with the
not so
band too.
much.
The band, like everyone that likes our page is a lot more spread out than the people that like we're friends with from our personal Facebook. Say, you know. So
yeah.
it's
So
like,
you're getting kind of
it's
this expanded
like
universe.
the band is more the valley and up here and like you know where.
Well, I think the more shows you play, the more that people see that Facebook page. Because the page is easy to have. You can set that up and not have too much on it, and people keep coming to it and just put
Yep.
things up every once in a while.
Yep.
Not as much maintaining.
That's pretty much what we do all the time, you know, just a couple updates here and there. That was also another really fun thing about doing the whole EP was, you know, like posting updates like as we were going along, you know,
Yeah.
posting up pictures of like, me playing guitar, or like, you know, Josh sitting over there like working out his drum parts, or, you know, RJ doing vocals. Like, I don't know, I got a lot of really cool action shots out of that, and like I kind of want to include that into like our, you know, our booklet, like for our EP, you know, just like have different pictures and have, you know, thanks in there for, you know, everybody to help us out.
Definitely a good way to track progress through the band and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
The thing you should do too is you should start making just videos of, even if it's just like dicking around stuff, but something about just having this kind of like, you know, because think about it, when you see like a, you know, a band, you're like, oh, well, like fucking there's Motley Crue dicking around, like you want to see that, you're like, I'm not letting that up, you know what I mean? Or like the Pantera videos and stuff, you know, think about that. That's always one of the coolest things.
Yeah, just
Totally.
behind the scenes stuff.
Totally different band, but one of Wolfmother's videos was just like a bunch of jackass footage.
Well, I wouldn't think like a music video, but like
Yeah, that's what I mean though. Like music video, just like random stuff though. Just,
Yeah.
just something just has a song over.
it's just more like, oh no, this doesn't even have music in it though. I'm not talking about that kind of stuff.
Oh, you're just talking about
Just
just
like them
different
screwing
videos.
around.
Yeah, I'm just talking
Oh,
about
okay.
like, yeah, it is like jackass stuff.
Them outside the music, pretty much.
Well, Pantera did these like 3 videos they did through, I think it was in the 90s. I don't think it even went to the 2000s. And they just kind of, Dimebag just carried this video camera with them and just filmed them doing a bunch of stuff. Then they edited it together and sold it off.
Oh, okay.
An option.
Yeah.
See, it's kind of like what we did today. I went and hung out with my rhythmist, and this is us just, you know, exactly like you're talking about.
Exactly,
Just-
that's what I
just
mean,
sticking
though. It's
around.
like-
Take some
And
action
that's the key thing is
photos.
people want to see all this shit. You know what I mean? Like, we live in the age where people are like, they
Oh,
like
they
your
are
band.
people. Yeah.
They want to see whatever you're doing. It doesn't matter.
That looks like something you can flip through, like the art from like the little booklet in there. You know?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You know, like I don't know. I have so many pictures on here from, you know, just action shots. You know, of just us jamming, us having a good time.
Jumping
you know,
midair with the guitar.
Yeah,
or
you
whatever.
know, a lot of cool stuff.
Oh, I
like
track
that.
everything. I have like a whole external hard
Yeah.
drive that I keep all my photos on and everything, like, band related. All these videos I've taken, like I try to take a video every show and stuff.
Yeah.
Even if I just like set the camera behind me and hit
Yeah, just
record.
something, yeah.
Yeah, like
The key thing is just the more stuff you have, it's like, the more stuff you have to give out later on.
yeah.
Yeah.
I want to get you out to one of our shows here soon.
I know.
Film us
Well, you know
again.
what I want to do with you guys, though, is I've been wanting to make a music video.
Dude, I know.
Nobody wants to make a music
we
video, but they
wanna
always
do
want to do a
that.
live concert with
We're
like your
ready
brother.
for a music
wanna
video.
do
You
music
don't know
video.
how many times I've told your brother, like, let's do a music video. That's what I could do. I want to
We
do a
were already
music
talking
video.
about hitting you
want
up
to,
for a
dude.
music
That's
video.
Like, that's like our next. That's like
Yeah.
we want that to be our next step as a music
You know,
video.
and like, you know, since you got the song now, that's the key thing.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the hard
music
part.
video is the next step.
The music video, because you can film anything and just align it with music. That's like the greatest part about a music video.
Mhm.
And it can still be really interesting, you know.
We should definitely set that up.
So, yeah.
Soon.
yeah,
I'd
just
be highly interested in that.
We're already
That'd be
working
pretty
on
cool.
like a slideshow.
yeah.
Like it just switches pictures and stuff, but it's to one of the songs. And
That's
I want
cool.
to. I want
we
to
have
do
a
like a
collection
music
of
video.
so
you
many
know,
pl-
like,
But I want one with a
pictures.
story in it. I love the ones that have like
Yeah.
the story intertwined with like the band
Oh
playing.
yeah,
dude,
yeah,
definitely
we
have to have
definitely
intertwined
want-
the band playing. I hate music videos where it's like you don't see the band playing at all.
Yeah, you gotta have the mix though. The mix is
Exactly.
good.
Yeah,
like
I
you know what's a
agree.
good one is
I
that
agree.
like remember the Dio song, the Rock and Roll Children? That video's badass.
I don't know. Yeah.
Video's kind of
I
like
guess-
what the fucking
Yeah,
deal?
we
I'm
just
like,
gotta
I guess it would.
decide on what song we want to do for a music video.
I don't know if the story should go along with the song, I suppose.
and, and this is in my personal opinion, what I would do too is I would make a music video for every song, all 7 of them. You know, start
That's
with one and just
Kind
start.
of what I'm thinking.
work your way
like,
down
We
till you
might
can-
as well. Like
Yeah, for the
we have the
EP.
material.
Well, no matter what, it's that is one of the greatest advertising tools you can have as a band is the music video.
Mhm.
That is the ultimate thing to have nowadays.
It is.
So I think make one for everything. Why not? You know, it's not like it costs anything. You know,
That's what I was saying,
we're not paying for film. We're not paying
That
for all this
band
old
Moto
stuff.
Graders that we're playing with has 950,000 views on it. Like they're almost breaking a
On their
million.
music video, yeah. So.
And we're playing with them soon. Like
That's awesome for you
a lot
guys.
of exposure like, through that music video.
So yeah, as I said, the music video gets out, and the more you have, the more views you get. That's the key thing too.
Yeah.
And,
Well-
I mean, you can whip out a music video in one day.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
could shoot, you could shoot one a week.
Something I want to ask you guys. I'm not sure if there's a rights thing problem with it, but but instead of playing our theme song when we close out, if we can play one of your guys' songs.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Is there any?
yeah.
What song would you guys like us to play? Closing
I'm
out.
gonna do Fatality.
I'd like to do Fatality, but it's
We
on you
should do
guys.
Fatality,
All right,
man.
yeah.
I love that
I
song.
mean, they're all any song would work. So I think Fatality's a good
Oh, yeah.
choice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fuck yeah.
your guys' vote. So
That's cool. That
tell
works.
you where-
I need to get a copy of the songs. I don't have any of the copies yet.
yeah.
I don't know. I need to get
Yeah,
you a
we're
copy.
I gotta mark
you know
it
we're
on
also
there.
in the process of working on getting album artwork on it, and like
Nice.
Mhm.
I think you have some like stickers you can throw on
Labels
on
or
the
whatever.
CD.
Oh yeah. I'm working
Yeah,
on getting
CD
like labels
labelers.
that you can just
Oh, yeah.
slap right on
So
CDs.
like
so-
yeah,
There's so many nice
so
things
they'll
of
actually
nowadays
look
that
a
you can
lot
just do
better
so
than
quickly.
just, you know, handing out a burnt disc or something. So
Well, if you end up coming to our EP release show, we're gonna be giving it away for free there. So.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I'll come by.
yeah,
Yeah.
so the show's free, EP's free for the show. And
That's one of the best things. Is just give it out for free. Just
oh,
I always
it's
think,
actually
look at the
drawing
first-
a lot of people to the show too, because like they'll ask me for a CD, and I'm like, well, we're handing them out free on
Exactly,
Friday,
I
so like if you're there, you can get a free copy. Like so, it's like bringing a
Yeah.
lot of people out to the Gypsy Shack and everything. So
Hey, if someone wants to donate a few bucks to the band, fine,
Exactly.
so be it. But if they don't, then they can still have it.
You know, because
That's
you'll see
how
so
I
many
look at
bands
it,
that want to
so.
like the second they make an album, they're like, well, "Give me fucking money now," you know.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Yeah.
no, that first album should just be a free for all. If somebody, they want to donate, that's awesome.
especially
Yeah,
like I
great.
said,
But it's
no
like- it's like
helping us
artwork
out,
or
kinda.
like
It's a
CD
calling card.
labels or anything. I don't even want to charge anyone for a burnt disc. You know, it's like
It's the calling card. That's what it should be. You know, it's just
Yeah.
like, hey, if you like this stuff, we'll put this towards the
Kinda
next
says
album.
We're doing it for the music kind of thing, you know, as opposed to we're trying to make money.
Where
Well, the long run, it's like, the long run, we want money though.
Well,
This is just to get you in here, right?
money keeps you going, of course. So
if
we
people
want to
were
play
to
music, but yeah, we do want money too.
if people were to donate money to you guys, where would they donate you to at?
You got a PayPal account?
We're
we're working
in the
on all
process
that.
of opening one right now,
Yeah.
just because we realized.
So then you can donate to my PayPal account on Parliament.
That'd be very appreciated. I miss you. But where are the websites they could find you guys all at?
Probably like our easiest one would be Facebook. Just I'm pretty sure it's just
It's backslash.
Facebook.com. Yeah, / whatever it is.
It's like
Premarital.death.
yeah.
And there's links to everything from there, probably.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Like I said, like I'm working right now on getting a Bandcamp account set up to where people can like either download the album for free or they can like donate, you know, via PayPal. So that will all be set up right after the EP release show next Friday. I'm probably gonna have that set up on Saturday. So once that's up, we'll definitely be sharing it on Facebook. We'll be sharing it on Twitter, you know, and every other social network I can think of.
Yeah.
So it'll be around, you know, like so just you know keep your eyes out for it.
Yeah, we definitely keep the Facebook the most updated.
Once we
everything,
start
so.
getting the album on digitally, then we're gonna definitely want to open up a PayPal account and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
But right now, dude, we're just selling hard copies, and you know, people have thrown us like $5 here, you know, and $5
There we
there. It's
go.
just going straight into like this little band fund. So.
Yeah.
That's always good.
Well, I think that's like one of the main reasons why we're releasing it for free at this show is just like because this is our hometown, you know, like there's people out there that have been watching us since you know way last
Exactly.
summer,
So
you know.
it's like if
So
you
like
showed up,
this is
We
our
have fans that are at every show.
yeah
Like,
exactly.
you know
even
so this
out
is
in
our
series, they're traveling down to series.
See, I always feel bad because I don't go
Yes,
on, I don't go on Facebook. So like, unless somebody tells me about it, like, Facebook's one of those ones. It's like it's kind of like on the last of my rosters. You know, I hit up all these other ones first, and I almost never even go on Facebook. It's kind of like I go the in between part where I release stuff. So unless RJ tells me about it or Dunigan tells me, that's why I keep missing out on something. I'm like,
I
oh, they had a show. Well, nobody told me.
I usually try to hit you up via text usually.
Yeah, I'm still like,
Sometimes I forget, but
get the pigeon carrier out and send me a message now.
It's hard to get reception where you're at too. So
I can still get text messages.
That
It's-
plus the
and
news
emails.
feed.
I thought it's like
just
you can't
like
get from the
you know, you never even find anything in the
I don't know,
news
you
feed.
get
You
so
scroll
much
through it for
random
like
bullshit
10
on
minutes.
their
You're like,
news feed.
I don't even know half these people.
Well, Facebook always has a hard time loading. That's one of my main reasons I just hate going on it too. It just like it takes just because there's so much pictures and shit everywhere and ads, so it's just like it's such a hard page to load. It just takes too long to do a whole lot. Where I like where Twitter's just simple and you know you only see pictures if you want to see pictures and you only see ads if you want them. You don't even
No,
see
and
ads.
now they have automatic playing videos, which pisses me off so bad when
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
sitting
no.
there scrolling through my Facebook feed and then all
You
of a
got your
sudden the
volume
videos
on,
start
too?
playing. And it's like
have
stop.
someone in there of their fucking dog or their baby or
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah.
Yeah,
The baby ones kill me.
See, this is where I'm
scrolling through my news videos and I got this picture of someone's baby dancing. I'm like, what in the hell?
See, this is where I'm glad I just don't go on Facebook because I always hear this, and this is where it's like this is where Facebook loses me. I don't get any of that on Twitter because you know what? Everybody I follow on Twitter, they all either like Sega or they like metal or they like working out or
Yeah.
something. Like they're all something I enjoy too.
Yeah.
Where on Facebook, I always feel like I don't enjoy kids.
It's like
I don't want to see any
10
of this
minutes
bullshit.
of like, who is this again? Like, what the heck?
I like mostly when I see people and they like it says like oh I love my kids. I always go, well, I'm definitely not following you. I get really picky every once in a while. Maybe if it says like dad, like like. You know, ex-marriage. I'm like, oh, okay, he's back on the wagon again. That's cool.
Or there's just something like, you know, oh, my first love is my kids, second love Jesus.
That's so many times I go like, oh, that guy said something really cool, and let's see what. And then it goes says like Christian. I'm like, nope. Even if everything else after that says something really cool, it's just like, oh, going back. It's just not worth it. I don't want to see that come up.
I have no problem with people who are Christian. It's just like you occasionally get the people who just post like biblical quotes every
That's
fucking
what I do.
day.
I'm afraid of that. And
Dude.
plus, the stuff that I'm posting is gonna like somehow, some way.
Yeah.
They're not gonna follow me back. I can tell this already.
Yeah. Yeah, I know that.
Well, you know what's one of the next things further down the road, maybe in a year, but something to try is the Kickstarter thing
Oh yeah.
for
I
your
know, dude.
or for your next album.
Bands have done that. I've known
is that?
Whitechapel to do.
I got
that.
$1,200 off
Kickstarter
that split, but $1,200 made on Kickstarter for the last album.
Damn,
Like the
what
Them
is-
Strangest
nice.
one I did.
What is that?
It's pretty much you go up there and you go like, yo, we're doing our next album. We have this first album out here. You can listen to this here, and you make a little video, kind of you guys sitting down explaining all this. And you're like, what we want, we just need some money, you know, to pay for our next album, and then we'll give you a gift. So you donate $25, you get the CD. You know, you donate $50, you get a T-shirt, DVD, CD, and so on. You can get really weird stuff too.
Yeah.
It's crowdfunding.
It's
what it
bands.
is.
Yeah.
The more you know,
Money
the easier it
donations.
is to get more money.
Whitechapel just kind of did that so they could make a DVD. They just raised $35,000 through donations on the internet like that through a website.
Well,
The thing
Austrian
is-
Death Machine did that for their third album.
Like, I'm not really against that. It's just a lot of people are against things like that, like bands asking for money. Kind
I
of
don't
thing,
think
you
it's
know?
wrong. I think the only time it gets wrong is when you kind of see celebrities doing it. You're like, whoa, 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 whoa. You
Yeah,
guys
you're
could go
right.
and talk to somebody who's in charge of all kinds of money. It should be more for the people that are like starting up, like you guys who are like, you know,
Exactly.
we're gonna make this, or we're gonna go on this tour. We're gonna, you know, no matter what, we can't afford this tour by ourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what we're kind of asking for. We give out these gifts to say thank you. It's kind of like PBS, I
No,
guess,
I
but
think that,
that's really what it is.
I definitely
Like,
Minus the guilt trip.
yeah, minus like the.
like I said, I definitely think it's a good idea. I just no, I think it's genius actually.
You like this
But-
Willie Nelson's and
'cause, like-
friends? We're gonna cut this concert off now and talk for 30 minutes. You're like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Where's
don't-
Bob Dylan playing?
I don't really understand the people that are complaining about and giving the bands a hard time that do it. It's like if you don't like it, then just don't support them. Just
No, yeah.
shut the fuck up. And it's like I don't know, dude. It's like I would have no problem donating to Whitechapel just so that I could watch their DVD that they would produce. You know.
No, that's
Well,
I bought that $100
On Kickstarter?
donation. No, Indiegogo.
Oh, is
was.
Indiegogo the other one?
But
Yeah,
no, they $100 gave me a sweatshirt, like special edition sweatshirt, T-shirt, DVD, and then a poster, I think, or something like that.
You're getting
For
something
what?
for it. So
Yeah,
at the end of the
exactly.
day-
I'm getting it next year.
Yeah,
but,
you're getting
you know,
it.
like
What package was
whatever.
that?
That was a $100 package.
For what?
That DVD thing that they're trying to build right now.
Oh, okay.
The thing that
Oh,
they're
the Whitechapel one?
$35,000. Yeah, I bought a $100 donation
okay.
for that, so I should be getting that stuff. They say in like March 2015, I think.
Okay,
The
sweet.
downfall is sometimes those things don't run that long, so by the time you find out about them, you're like, oh, it's over. Because there's the Austrian Death Machine one. And I would have fucking donated so fast to that, knowing that they're coming out with a third album, especially for the fact the guy just went to jail.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was just like, I was so bummed. But it's funny, he had one that was like, if you donate like $5,000, he'll like tattoo your name on his ass. If I was just made of money, I'd be like, fucking hey, give me that.
Two Average Dicks had a thing like that. Like they had a Kickstarter. Like if you like pitch this much, we will both get your name tattooed on our thigh or something like that. This other podcast on Podomatic.
That's cool, man. That's really cool. Did you watch that? Talking about Rooster Teeth, with Jack did that last. God, what was that thing that he just did? It was right during the Christmas holiday where it was. They played video games to like raise money for the children's hospitals.
Huh.
Did you watch that?
No,
I didn't see
I know
that.
Ego Raptor had something like that going on, and his thing passed.
Yeah.
I saw that today, but
Yeah.
I didn't see that one. Like Rooster Teeth's like, I see some of their stuff, but I don't see all of it. I'll tell you that.
Okay.
You know, I'll look at it every once in a while. I more look at them like what are they doing? What can I learn?
I used to watch Red versus Blue, and not that it got bad. I just fell behind, and
Yeah,
I
me too.
just caught up. Like, whoa, it's really fucking changed. And then I saw a little bit of that new show Ruby, and on occasion, I mean, I like their podcast, so I'll listen to their podcast when I can.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Weekly, man. both. Do you ever listen to The Patch?
I just listen to the main Rooster Teeth podcast because they already like most podcasts, if they have like more than one episode a week, it's so easy to fall behind.
Yeah.
So that's one. I don't listen to it as frequently as I used to, but I just every once in a while pop it on. Now it's always good for a laugh.
Yeah. I just bought tickets to RTX this year.
Oh, awesome.
So I'm going down to Austin in I think it's July 4th, 5th, and 6th or something like that. It's like a 3-day event. But
They bring a bunch of other websites and like local like comics and stuff there, right?
yeah.
Well, they used to like MagFest, and I really was like, if that wasn't on the East Coast, I so would have went to that.
You think there'd be some kind of like West Coast thing of it, maybe?
There's not nearly as much West Coast stuff, which I always think is the weirdest thing. And that happens with concerts and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
You know, they just nobody. You think that California would be a hot spot for all that stuff, but people don't care about California. I think it's probably the taxes, though. That's probably why people will go. You know, we save all this money by not going there. The amount of money we make in California, really, just you end up paying it back in taxes.
You're like, well, you guys got the monster one. You got San Diego Comic Con. That's the one you get.
Oh yeah, the monster. I remember that was the one that had Avenged Sevenfold and Steel Panther and.
Oh, I just meant the monster
dang.
of comic book conventions. Like,
I liked it because Monster had this concert. They did the Avenged Sevenfold. Did you see that one at all?
Which one?
It was about 5 months ago or something. It was Monster, like the energy drink.
Yeah.
The Monster Aftershock.
Yeah, and it's just like there was like
The 2-day concert.
there was like 5 bands that were good, but you had to put up with a lot of crap bands, and I was like,
Dude, it's a 2-day
Like
concert.
Theory of a
Tons
Dead
of
Man.
crap bands,
It was
dude.
just shitty, but yeah, Theory of a Dead
like-
Man.
I don't know. I was digging the Avenged Sevenfold, Asking Alexandria on that show. But
There was that, and then there was Steel Panther, which was the other thing. But they were on the same day, which pissed me off. And then Megadeth, even though I've seen them before.
no.
But yeah, then it was like 5-finger death punch. It's like,
we'll just kick each other in the balls for like 2 hours.
while I wait for Avenged Sevenfold to play.
5-finger, dude. It's old man metal.
That band, I just can't get why that band's so popular or what.
Well, then again, I like
everybody
man
who's
metal.
really into it though are all like 30 and above.
That's what I'm saying. My
Well,
dad
I like-
likes it, dude. He's 54, dude. Old
Everybody
man
in that
metal.
age range just seems to love that band. It's just to me, it's like, really?
even though it's kind of in the same ballpark, I actually like Black Label Society, but I think they do it good. And
Well, they're different.
Black
though.
Label, yeah, I definitely would not call that old man metal.
well,
for
not
sure.
like
Just, just
well,
because
I mean,
he's old doesn't.
But I
he's
know.
old. He has the whole biker thing. You have a lot of the same kind of. I think it's like
I kind of get what you're saying, though.
they're sort of in the. It's kind of like they're maybe like at the. Shit, how do I put this?
See, it's
They're at the same area of the zoo, but not the same cage. You know what I mean?
It's like 5-finger is trying to be badass. Black Label
is badass.
So it's
Exactly,
like,
yeah.
Did you see that metal show? They had M Shadows and Zack Wild on the last episode.
dude, actually, no, I didn't see it, but my dad was telling me all about it. Dude, he
Yeah,
said
it
it
was-
was actually really good.
Yeah,
dude.
it was really cool. Zack Wild's just fucking awesome. I
I know.
love Zack Wild.
Dude,
And then
of
M
course,
Shadows is
dude.
badass too. Even though he
Oh,
was kind of
yeah.
like quiet and like it was funny because he was saying all this serious stuff, and then at a point it was just like, well, Zack Wild's just gonna say all the funny shit. And I'm just gonna back off.
I wonder if like backstage, like Zach Wild's like, "You let me say all the funny shit. You get the back of my hand, bitch." You know, he's a
But
big fucker.
the one thing about that thing though is like they had the 5-finger death punch guy playing guitar, which that's fine. If there's no like singing and all that stuff, that guy's a really good guitar player. And don't get me wrong, that's cool that those guys are black belts and you know, and they named their 5-finger death punch off of Kill Bill. But that's not gonna save the music though.
No, dude.
There's like cool elements that could go into a really sweet band,
Dude,
but wasted.
I'm so sick of their Bad Company cover, dude.
I hate that Bad
dude,
Company song
Jesus,
anyways,
dude,
and somehow,
so-
some way, someone went out and found a way to make it worse.
I know, dude.
one I really hate is just so much more. Is just Theory of a Dead Man.
Oh,
There's
that's
that one song. It's like
horrible.
she's a bad girlfriend. It's just like she's dancing on. It's like it's
Or
kinda
like the bitch is back, do 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 do. I said the bitch is back, do do do. It's just the Theory of a Dead Man
They
is
did
like
a cover of Elton John.
no, it must be
Oh,
like,
it's just a different. The
not
bitch
the
is
bitch
back.
is back, but it was like something like that, and it's just like their lyrics when you listen to them, they're hilarious because it's like. It just feels like these guys never grew up from age 14. Like, it just feels like you got a bunch of 14-year-olds say, like, we're going to start a band today. Yeah, man. That's who Theory of a Dead Man is. Like, fucking ain't right. Let's go get some Mountain Dew and Cheetos. And go
one friend's
stand
all like-
outside of 7-Eleven.
The one friend's like, no, man. Let's get some amp. Like, that's the hard shit, dude.
I don't know if I'm ready, man. I don't know if my mom will let me. God, in Theory of a Dead Man, they play it like every fucking festival. It's just like, I think one of the reasons I haven't gone to a lot of these festival ones anymore, it's just like, I hate putting up with the shit bands.
They're kind of not saying this band was as bad, but they're kind of like the new Atreyu. They're at every fucking show.
Except for I at least like Trey.
not saying they're bad, but they were like in every single
Atreyu
show.
was like that. By the time we saw him for like the third time, I was like, I'm gonna go out and buy some albums because there is no fucking way I'm going to the concert again without knowing
That's
everything.
how I felt too, dude. Dude.
And it made the concert much better. By the time I knew every Atreyu song, I was like, this is fucking good.
Now-
Before I was just kind of lost.
Now I'm fucking sick of them.
I haven't listened
I've
to him
seen
in a
them
while.
so many times, dude. It got to the point, dude, where I saw they were playing. I was like, and I was at the show, and I was like, I don't even feel like it.
I haven't seen their name on a tour though in the last couple
I
of
don't,
years.
dude, actually, I haven't either.
I don't know what
I
they
think
felt like.
they're-
They
I don't
fell.
think they're a band anymore.
They just kind of fell off the
But-
face of the earth. I don't know what happened.
Mm-hmm.
No, dude. The only festival I go to anymore is Mayhem Fest now.
Oh yeah, that one always has some good stuff. I really wish the Ozfest would happen again because that always had really good stuff.
Dude, every year there's rumors that it might go on again.
and I keep
it's
looking
like,
and I keep
then
looking
it
and it's
dies.
never there.
I'm hoping Warped Tour gets a little bit more metal, but
Well, Warped Tour, the only thing about that one too, that's another
They
one where like
almost did.
dude,
Yeah,
it's, this
like
year,
one
they're kinda
fifth of the
leaning that
bands
way,
I
but
like, and then the other
They went
well,
a little metal
Thing
and
is,
then went straight back the other
If
way.
the
like it.
1/5 is good enough, I'll definitely go.
you know, because then again, I can't say much for the rest of the bands because half of them I have no idea who they are, but I just judge them harshly at the beginning.
Well, I don't know who they are, so fuck them.
Yeah, they're probably not good. But Ozfest though, that was the one where you're kind of guaranteed at least a good half plus a good band.
That's kind of how I feel about Mayhem Fest. You know, it's like last year, Children
Yeah.
of Bodom was there.
There was some good stuff at that
Yeah,
one. You're
Born on
guaranteed to.
Osiris and stuff like that. So
I can't remember if there was any junky bands at that one too much. I don't know. The
No.
one thing that kind of sucks about Avenged Sevenfold is they don't play with metal bands anymore. They play with all those kind of like 96.7 hard rock bands.
I know, dude.
Yeah.
And that's where it's kind of like, come on, guys, like, who you should be playing with is not these guys.
I don't know.
Anybody
Yeah,
else.
last-
They're like playing with Shinedown and Seether and whatever.
Play with like Trivium and play with these more metal bands, not fucking.
I know, dude. I want to go see Avenged Sevenfold headline, dude, and they were playing with 3 Days Grace and Seether.
Fuck
Yeah.
3 Days
And,
Grace.
I don't even remember. Oh, and Bullet for My Valentine, which is actually pretty cool. But
Well, that's always cool, but.
Avenged Sevenfold was sick, dude, so they didn't play. Dude, the guy came
That
out.
is the most saddest.
Dude, the headliner, dude. We're sitting there, we see Bullet play, dude, and we're like, yeah, you know, and then
There is
between Bullet and Seether, dude, the guy comes out, he's like, Avenged Sevenfold is ill, they're not going to be performing tonight. We're like, fuck this!
But we
Dude.
do have we
We're
do
like,
have
"See ya."
we do have a guy to come out play a sad song and a violin for you.
Dude, it's like, I am not hanging around to watch Seether and 3 Days Grace.
See,
Oh,
and that's
hell
my
no.
fear is that I go to a junkie concert, I put through shit. I put all these hours and I'm like, arms crossed, stand there like, when is what I came here? I paid $35. I want to see what I want to see. And they're sick.
Dude,
Like, you
By the
could've told me-
time you
I
get
paid
to
like
them, you're like
$75,
already
dude,
in a
and
Was
bad
that-
mood.
it was at Shoreline, dude.
Oh,
Like,
well, yeah, Shoreline's always expensive.
we had
too.
halfway decent seats, dude. But the thing is, they like gave us free tickets to everyone that was at the Shoreline show. They gave
That's
free...
cool. That makes
But
up for
the
it.
thing is, dude, is our seats were way further back than the original seats we had, dude.
Ah,
So
kinda
it was like,
half-assed you.
yeah, it was kind of, it was shitty both ways. But I mean, the second time we got
It's
to see
at
him,
least you got something though.
we got to see him still, and it was free, and it was with Asking Alexandria. So
Oh,
it was
yeah,
like I got
so
to see
it's
him with
better.
another good band too. So it's like,
It
but-
wasn't. Yeah, but that's like the worst though. Is you go to see something and it's just like,
dude, I know, dude.
with all the crap bands.
RJ and I went to Summer Slaughter tour last summer, and like we went and saw the first 2 opening bands, and then just took off.
Yeah, you
Oh,
told me
yeah,
about that.
dude.
Who was the first?
Yeah, it was like Thyroid is Murder was the first band, then Rings of Saturn was the next one. Rings of Saturn went on, dude, and they were like having some sort of problems with their equipment, dude.
Technical
Yeah,
difficulties.
and they played one song, and they're like, and then I see them look over at the Summer Slaughter, like, you know, tech guys, and the tech guys are like this, and they're like, well, that's it, that's our set, and one
Yeah.
song. We were like,
Something
are you fucking
happened
kidding me? So we
technically where they
bounced,
couldn't
dude. We drove all the way to
jam
San
it.
Francisco,
Yeah.
watched about
We
6
watched
songs, and
the
left.
opening
That's fucking
band,
shitty.
then watched
I mean,
one
it was
song of
worth
the
the,
next band.
one band we did actually get
Well,
to see, but
I will say, I love going to a concert and just seeing that one band you want to see, and then just jetting out because no traffic. You get home at a decent.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
actually,
Well,
I like that.
That was the cool part,
But it does kind of suck for the other band you want to see kind of like crapped out.
I mean, yeah, it would, yeah.
Technically, it's not their fault. It seems like it's a technical difficulty.
It would have been way cooler because we were planning on bouncing after that second band anyways.
Yeah.
I mean, so that was the downer, really, but I don't know.
But yeah, we didn't even like pay to go see the headlining bands
it
of
is-
that tour. It's
It
like,
is kind of cool though when you get to like leave like 4 bands before the end,
Oh,
and
yeah, it's
everyone
just-
really wants to see those ending bands. You're like, I'm out of here.
Well, the one thing I go back to Ozfest, because the one thing I still always loved about Ozfest is even if there wasn't a band you didn't like, they had so much shit for you to do there that you didn't care. You're like, oh, there's a PlayStation truck, or there's a guy that's gonna get like a soccer ball kicked at his
They're
nuts.
not on
Sure,
for
I'm gonna
three-
watch
They're not
that.
on for 3
That's the
hours.
thing.
I'm gonna go play.
And people
some-
are handing
I'm
out
going to
free shit left
3DS
and right.
tent.
Mayhem Fest is kind of like the new
Is that kinda like
Ozfest,
that?
dude. That's exactly what it is, dude. You know, Rockstar tent, dude, and then there's like
That's
where you can
cool.
go get the energy drinks and stuff. But I mean,
Because the other ones that like were kind of like the smaller, I guess, like ones like Ozfest, they didn't have any of the fun stuff. They had kind of like you buy T-shirts and stuff.
dude, I
But
don't remember if it was Mayhem Fest or a Warped Tour, dude. I went and they had a giant 3DS tent, dude.
Warped Tour.
Warped Tour
That was
probably
it.
has all that,
That was
stuff
the
too. I've
most
never been to that
awesome
one.
thing.
You're like, oh, they're
dude.
not on for 3 hours. I'm gonna play some.
I'm gonna I went over and played Mercenaries or whatever it was when 3DS first came out.
See, that's what I
Oh,
like though. It's like
shit.
you can, you know, it's almost like this whole kind of like summer getaway
You're
camp.
like, oh wait,
For
I'm
like
at Warped
a-
Tour. What about
Yeah,
playing 3DS?
There's music always playing in the background, so
I
it's
can do
cool.
this at
But
home.
Offspring's playing soon. Shit.
I drove 2 hours away to play a 3DS.
Yeah. No, I haven't really been too impressed with Warped Tour the last few years. Like, I've been wanting to go because when I went in 2010, I think, is when we saw Whitechapel,
Suicide Silence.
Amir.
Amir.
Like we saw like all these like really awesome bands that we've all
Was
been
it
listening to.
Born
for
of
that.
Osiris? Was
longer
that them
than
that year? I
That
don't
was
think so.
longer
It
ago
was a
than
couple
that.
years
That
ago.
had been 08.
That was 08 or 09.
09.
09,
Was it
I
09?
think.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was at that year.
The last big
I
festival.
went with you. One of those.
I'm probably gonna get shunned for saying this, but the last big festival I went to was the Bridge Benefit Festival, like back in 2006 or something, and that's kind of like, even though it's not metal, it's kind of like you go there for like 5 bands you like
And you put up
Jerry
a-
Lee Lewis, Neil Young, Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young. A couple things that were like, oh, that's cool, but nothing I'd really spend hard-earned money for. And then a bunch of shit like, oh, there's Good Charlotte, there's some band called Bright Eyes, whatever the fuck that is, you know. So
the last time I went to that one, it was literally all shit bands except for 2. It was just like Jerry Lee Lewis came on and that was badass, and then Metallica, and everything else that was like you
Neil
sit
Young.
there arms
I
crossed
hate
waiting.
to admit it, but I've gone a long way in music, but the first live show I went to was Good Charlotte.
Oh yeah.
I hate to admit it, but that was my first concert, and I was like, I need to be up there.
My first one was Ozfest 2004.
Oh, that was a good time. I think that was
first
actually
concert.
I can't remember. No, that was my first one too. My first, major non local band concert.
Ozfest 04. Got to see Slipknot.
Yeah, we saw
Got to see
Slipknot. That
Black
was a great
Sabbath,
one. Slipknot,
Dimmu Borgir,
Dragon Force,
Judas Priest.
Or no, that was the other one. Was that
Yeah,
the other
that
one?
was 06.
I get this confused by
Judas,
like.
Judas Priest was awesome. Lamb of God was good.
Yeah, so it was like 03 for my first concert. But
Was that the one
Good
where we met the Red
Charlotte.
Chord? Or was that the?
That was 06 too.
they're,
We all run together.
aside from, because that was the first like festival type thing I went to, but the 2 biggest concerts I went to was probably, and you were there for one of them. Actually, you were there for both of them.
Eric
It was,
Clapton?
Eric Clapton, and then we went to go see Motley Crue and Aerosmith.
Yeah, that was a cool one.
Yeah.
One of the best concerts
my
we ever
second
saw
concert
though
was
was like
Motley Crue.
me, RJ, Josh Bullock, and Cisco all went to Motley Crue in Reno, and I always say,
I heard all about that show.
No,
Did you
just-
say the drum set was like spinning?
dude,
and
I got the
it was,
DVD.
yeah.
I should just let you borrow
He
it.
said he was jumping.
He was like
from
jumping from
drum set to drum
dude,
set.
He had like drum set platform set up to
Dude,
him.
I
and they
remember
just
this
go
in
from
high
side to
school. He
side.
explained it to me in high school. I was like,
It was so awesome.
Dude, I got the DVD though. It's like, and I'll just show it to you someday, and you borrow it and just watch it and be like, it's fucking amazing.
Dude, it
it
is
was the one.
badass.
I always say that's the pinnacle concert, and you know why? No opening band. Motley Crue played for almost 2.5
That
hours.
was
They
it,
had a
dude. It
full
was just-
that
circus.
is
Motley Crue.
sweet.
And not only that, at first we started off kind of in these far back seats, and then Josh or Cisco somehow had the idea, like, let's just fucking walk forward, So me and RJ were like, I don't know, man. We just went with it, and we're up there right next to Mick Mars. It was fucking awesome.
I know, dude. I can't believe we got so close.
That was one of the coolest ones.
I heard all about it. It sounded
Dude,
like
I know,
a great
like-
concert.
That's what I want. See, I want Avenged Sevenfold to play without anybody else, just them. Play for 2 hours, not 1 fucking hour.
I mean, yeah.
It's just, I feel like it's hard to do that nowadays because one band can't fill all the seats. See, Motley Crue can because, they're
It's
a bigger
fucking
band.
Motley Crue, dude.
Aerosmith can do it because they're Aerosmith, and Rolling
Metallica.
Stones and Metallica, but Avenged Sevenfold is still not big enough to fill everything by themselves.
Yep.
Yep.
See, yeah. No,
And they gotta pull some radio rock bands out that like, this is what the kids are listening to nowadays, so put that on there.
And that's what I think. That's like one of the hardest things about our genre for premarital death being deathcore. Like that is such a hard genre to sell to somebody, you know, because like they listen to it and they're like, "What is this?"
Well, that's the one where
Especially
somebody
since-
goes to see, like, you know, say like a classic rock band, then you guys open up for them and they're like, "Who the fuck is these guys? Like, who brought these guys in here?" So it's like if you don't go with the right crowd, you know.
Exactly, yeah.
Especially since anything kind of like in the, I guess, rock and roll category. Because I know you guys aren't rock, you're metal, but still kind of in the same
It
category.
all forms from the same place.
Most things in like rock and roll, like it's pretty much either very soft, like really, really soft pussy hipster shit, or
that
it's
so
very kind of like electric kind of, you know.
It's techno nowadays.
Well, techno or like the Imagine Dragons or something like that, you know.
You know?
Well, that is kind of the
I
new
feel
music
like-
nowadays is computers,
Or-
one or two guys, or two guys and a fucking like acoustic guitar.
With
The
like a,
biggest
with a
bitching.
washboard,
I
you
feel
know.
like you're either death metal or you're soft.
The biggest complaints I get is like people don't like the screaming. They don't know what they're saying. That's like the biggest complaints. I get. I don't know what they're
that's
saying.
the biggest complaint about death metal.
I don't like the
period,
screaming.
You know? It's
Those are like the only
they're
two.
like-
growls and the
it's like-
screams. It's just,
Take this for example. My girlfriend, she does not like metal whatsoever. Like absolutely hates metal. I start this band with these guys and we start playing shows. She starts coming out to our shows. Like now I can sit in my car and like play a metal song or two and she just like, you know, doesn't freak out. She doesn't like, you know, instantly turn it off or whatever, you know. It's like it's really cool. Like it's really empowering, I guess you can say, like as, you know, like a member of a band to be like show somebody that has no idea why you're doing what you're doing and for them to actually like start bobbing their head to it, you know, and like really enjoy that style of music. Like I don't know, like I've seen so many times where we go play a set somewhere, you know, and nobody knows who we are, and we walk up and we start playing the stage, and just before you know it, just like nobody's moving, everybody's mouth is dropped and their eyes are wide open. They're like,
Who the fuck are these
what?
guys?
Yeah,
Everyone's
like
watching us,
like
so,
what?
I mean-
Like they've never heard something like that before, you know, and like that's really cool to bring to the table too.
See,
Yeah.
my girlfriend, right off the bat, she liked you guys because she likes metal.
Right.
So
exactly.
instantly I was like, oh, these guys are actually way better than I thought.
You know,
that kind of thing. It's like, well, here's my friend's band.
with the vocals too, it's like you couldn't have any other type of vocals
No.
with the
No,
way the music is
music
played,
is written
with
and
the
played.
tuning and everything all together, dude. There's no way. you
That
could
plus
have
like being local and everything. 90% of our fan base isn't even like, you know, deathcore fans necessarily.
Yep.
Like sometimes they've never even heard,
And we're
you
like-
know.
the only death metal
Bands
band in
that-
the county.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, there was a lull
The only-
in like heavy metal music in Tuolumne County for a long time.
There still is.
Ever
So
since
you guys came around.
Ever since Mount Zion got
Yeah,
burned
once
down.
Mount Zion got like destroyed, which
No
I'm not really
kidding,
too sure how that went
jeez.
down. All I know is that one day I was like, dude, there probably is a Mount Zion concert going on. It's Friday. We drive there. It's like, what the fuck? The Cowboy Church? What the hell happened? Where was I?
Yeah,
happened
no
was-
kidding. No.
My childhood was taken away from me.
It was probably like the Patriot. They kind of like coaxed all the like punk rockers and metalheads into the church, burned it to the ground.
There was no honor in this.
Exactly. It was probably like that.
Burn the church captain.
Now we know punk is dead.
And they
That's
just
one
flopped the
thing, too.
Cowboy Church on top.
Have you guys really seen any of those punk rockers that remember there used to be like a swarm of punk rockers when we were in like high school
Yeah,
from
I do
Sonora?
I
remember
see him
that.
now, dude.
Do you really
I
see any of those
some
guys
them,
anymore?
dude.
There's a few, but
Once
you
in
know.
a blue moon I'll see one, but like I never see a pack of them. You know what I mean? They come in like singles now.
They probably
See,
blend in. They
exactly,
probably don't
dude.
have like purple mohawks
And
anymore.
I do see a lot of them that aren't trying to be punk rock anymore.
Yeah.
Well, because now like the new things like the hipster thing.
Oh, dude.
Yeah,
I
and the
know,
folk
it kills
rock,
me.
but
See,
not like
like-
good folk rock like Eddie Vedder or something.
See, I hung out with the punk crowd in high school. Like,
Did you go to Sonora?
Yeah, I went to
Okay,
Sonora.
I thought I should clarify this.
You know, like
I'm assuming if you didn't go to Somerville, you either were not from here or you went to Sonora,
There's only two
um,
schools you could have gone to.
or you could be one of those weird like homeschooled children.
Yep.
Like the Silver Dome place in Sonora, whatever that one's called.
Oh, that's for like the bad children. isn't
Casino.
Yeah, Casino.
it? Yeah. Or people
Well,
that
you're
want to
saying
go
Not
about
saying,
the-
you're not saying
the
that.
punk
You seem
crowd.
like a
Did
nice
you go to
guy.
that one?
You seem like a nice guy.
I seem to insult things
No, I'm
before
just
I
like-
even ask if
I
somebody went
understand
there.
I'm from the west side of the county, but you know, but no, I mean like hanging out with the punk kids, like I don't know, man. Like after a year of buying leather jackets and studding them up and painting your jackets and you know, you're like
You all look
doing
the
all
same.
this stuff. At the end of the day, you're fighting capitalism, but you're buying all this shit, and it's just like, what the fuck am I doing? You know, like And then all of a sudden metal enters my life, like 2007, and then just like ever since, it's just like no, all those old roots just kind of went away. But you learn from those, you know. I mean, like that's where my guitaring styles all come from. Is all punk rock, you know. That's all I played forever, and then you know, drop those tunings down, you know. And then all of a sudden I'm playing metal. So I don't know.
Well, that was the good thing about dressing 80s metal, dude. It's like your pants ripped.
Yeah.
You're like, yes,
Yeah.
awesome.
Well, for me, like, music just got heavier as I got older. Just kept getting heavier and heavier
Exactly.
and heavier.
It's
Like,
like-
I started out, like, listening to, like, classic rock, because that's, like, my parents listened to. And the next thing you know, I was listening to, like, heavier 70s rock, and then 80s metal. And then I even went into 90s grunge and all that stuff. And then I kept going to 2000. It just kept going up.
Dude,
It just,
exactly. That's
it just got
exactly how it
heavier and
happened,
heavier and
dude.
heavier until...
Like, look at what we were listening back when we first met in, like, 7th
Well, it was like, I remember we met, it was like, dude, you like Rob Zombie? I like Rob Zombie. You like The Offspring? I like The Offspring. You got a Bruce Springsteen album? I got a Bruce Springsteen album.
Dude. It's like, and then, like, we just got more, dude. It was like Cradle Phil, Children of Bodom.
Bodom.
And then next thing you know, we're listening to Cannibal Corpse and, like, all sorts of death metal. And then,
You know, that's just kind of how I am. I kind of stay in this metal area where it's just
well,
kinda,
yeah, exactly.
it
That's the
bounces
best
back
part.
like pop, 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 but it's like, you know, it's got to be somewhat heavy.
Exactly.
And the only time I can take, it's weird things like, if a metal band does a soft song, I like that soft song a lot. But I feel like when the whole album's sometimes soft, that's kind of where it loses me at. Every once in a
Yeah.
while, you'll find something that's like,
Very true.
you know, it's just different, and for some reason you like it.
You
But
know, you like their old albums, but then they start getting softer, and you just stop liking them. Really.
yeah,
Yeah.
just kind of.
Even our softest song on our EP is what we call our interlude, and it's basically like our instrumental. But even then, like, it's still heavy as fuck, you know. Like, I mean, like our flow in the whole album like never changes, you know. But like, it is a nice break, like in between, you know. It just kind of like splits the album in half almost, you know, and like really sets the tone.
Well, if you ever need some other interlude, you just call it heavy as fuck.
Yeah, you go.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been a blast, man. Being in a band for the last year, like these guys are
Yeah.
great, you know, to work with.
Formed
And,
about a year ago, so
mhm,
last February.
yeah.
Just
Yeah.
when like the name popped up and we were like, all right, let's do this. Like, let's write a couple songs, record it at my brother's
Dude, it was
house.
so hard to find a drummer, dude.
Well, that's the hardest part of a band. is the
Finding
drummer.
a drummer was the hardest, dude. We were hitting people up. We even tested out this one guy, dude. He just didn't work out. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, we did search
So,
for a drummer
obviously,
for a
we
while.
had Josh was lead guitar first, so we
Yeah,
moved
yeah.
him over to the drums. We were like, fuck it, we'll just have Josh play the drums. At least we know he
Yeah.
can.
I remember
do
that was
it.
the first thing I
Cameron
asked.
stepped in and like played lead and like
Yeah.
really well. Like
Yeah, then
better
we
than I
moved
could
our
play
bass
lead.
player to rhythm. Found
And
the bass
like
player.
so, then I was like, well, I know how to play the drums. Like, you know.
You see, like, Josh and I, like, years prior to Premarital Death, we used to have this whole band called Premarital, and, like, we would go and practice all the time, so, like, Josh and I's dynamic with guitar and drums is already, like, set, you know, so, like, when we get together and we start jamming, it's just, like, I don't know what it is, dude. It's just, like, something that just clicks in the back of your head and just...
Yeah,
and then
that was the
you're-
first band I drummed for. Like, was
Yeah.
Premarital.
Well, because I remember when RJ first told me you were in it, Josh, and I was like, oh, so Josh playing guitar? He's like, no, he's playing drums. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
I just remember from, like,
exactly.
Day and Year and stuff, like,
yeah,
you playing
high
guitar.
school, walking around my acoustic every day.
Day and era.
Yeah.
That thing, I still get, there's comments
Our
on that video every
first
once in a while
band.
that I'll see, because I'll go look at it, I'm like,
Yeah.
how many views are on that thing? It
You
keeps
and
building up.
Cisco filmed it.
Yeah, we shot it.
RJ helped carry the
Oh, is that the-
equipment.
Yeah,
Cisco
dude,
we were
roadie.
set up.
There's the Pokemon song, like Brock Stole My Misty or
Oh,
whatever.
yeah, we have Brock Stole My Misty and Red-Faced Watson.
I
actually
you have to go to Somerville for that one, but
Yeah.
That was funny because I could actually hear the lyrics. Like, I know exactly what they're talking about right now.
Oh, man, dude.
Yeah,
Watson
that
was a gym
early
teacher of
days.
ours.
dude.
First band, and then Premarital was the second, which I started drumming for, and then the third one
But
was.
the drums is like one of the most key things. Because the first thing you do when you get to like a new drummer and you realize everybody's off, and you knew you were not off before, you know what's wrong.
I hear everybody say. I mean, I'm not a musician by any means, but I hear whenever I hear a friend say they're looking for a band member to complete the band, it's always a drummer. That's the one they always have trouble finding is the drummer.
Well, for
It's
all my
always-
recordings in like the last it's always been a computer drummer.
It's hard to find a good drummer, and then it's hard to find a drummer with a good drum kit. Period.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
well, there's some people like, I play drums. Well, where's your drums at? Oh, you didn't say that.
Yeah.
Thought you'd have them.
It's an expensive instrument, man.
Yeah,
Like,
it's-
Well, the way I
Very
look at it, though, it's
expensive.
really about the same price as getting a good guitar and a good amp and a couple pedals.
Yeah.
It's kind of the same thing when you think about it.
It is.
I mean,
to get like
to start off
Might
day
cost-
one,
It
yeah.
kind
You
of
can buy a
costs
guitar for a
more
couple
the
hundred.
maintenance to keep it all
Yeah.
up to
But
date and
then it's
everything.
like, you
but
know, well, then
you
you
know,
start getting a name brand symbols.
you
and
break
those
a
are like
drum head, it's a lot more than
250
like breaking a
bucks for
guitar
symbol.
string.
It's like, so I'm gonna.
not like that one that we had at my house.
Costs more to maintain.
It just sounded so fucking horrible.
Oh my god, dude! I still have that drum set.
You know, like when
I
When
do.
we
The
started,
cymbals
it's
were
in
all
my
warped and
garage.
everything.
Cameron was there when we started Premarital, and that was like when I first learned my first blast beat. Like
3 days before I meet this kid. Okay, so like I joined into Papa Murphy's, and we have a mutual friend named Tim Tracy. Tim Tracy introduced me to him, and he's just like, hey Josh, Cameron plays guitar, you know, and Josh plays drums, and he's like, you guys should get together. So we just hooked up one day, and just like I went up to
that's
his
a
house.
great idea.
And then like this fool tells me, he's like, I just learned blast beats like 3 days ago, and then like that's where we started.
Like, and now we've progressed all the way till now.
Oh, dude,
He was there when I first learned blast beats. and,
Yeah.
like, that
Josh,
was
you don't
it.
work at Pop Murphy's anymore, do you?
I work there again now. Yeah,
Oh, you do?
yeah. I went back there.
Two.
I feel bad. I always felt like that place was stealing your soul.
Yeah.
Me and Dunigan had this joke because I remember at first I was like, Josh is looking whiter. Maybe we were like, maybe Papa Murphy's is like sucking his soul out.
Serving it in the pizzas.
I just remember I don't know if it's just the lighting or something up there.
Oh, dude.
But
I feel youthful.
That's why they keep coming back.
I always just went there. It's like he's getting whiter. What's happening? The
what I
only thing I could
noticed,
blame
too.
it on was Papa Murphy's.
That's what I noticed too. I think it was your old house up there in Twainhart.
Being
The
in that
dungeon, having
downstairs,
no-
dude.
Dude, I love that house up there. That was great.
Maybe that was it. I don't know.
You,
Dude,
you were
like-
like never outside, man.
Like, I know, dude. I'd wake up and I'd think it was like 7 in the morning. I go outside, it's 4 in the afternoon. I'm like, oh my god, it's sunny out
probably
here.
no
was it.
windows.
See, I just remember going there and playing PS2 and like eating Doritos and watching like The Running Man.
Yeah, Running Man.
Those were good days, dude. Hanging out in the dungeon.
Puzzle combat battles.
I love Puzzle Combat.
I haven't heard that game in a long time.
I played the Street Fighter one of it not too long ago.
That was really good too. Yeah. Did you play Peggle?
No.
Play that game,
No.
Peggle?
I ain't
It's
heard of that
Such
one.
a fun arcade game. It's just like, it's so simple. It's just like this little moving bucket at the bottom of the screen. It just moves left and right. There's a
Yeah.
bunch of little pegs,
Yeah, I
and you
think-
just like have like an arc angle that you can shoot at, and you shoot a ball, and it just bounces in between all the pegs, and you try to like knock out all the pegs.
Sounds
in the
kind of
level.
familiar now that you describe it.
Yeah, I mean it's really simplistic, but man, it's so much fun. Like I play this shit all the time.
Mortal Kombat and Tony Hawk's Underground, dude.
Yeah. I just remember watching RJ just. There came a point where it was just like, fuck this, I'm not even playing this anymore. Like, I thought I was good at Tony Hawk, and then I saw RJ just getting. I mean, what were you getting at? Like,
dude?
they were like 5 million point combos
yeah,
or something.
5, 6.
It was just
dude.
this
Yeah.
humongous amount that was like
I know.
unheard of.
Patrick was like, dude, you're like playing a robot. I'm not playing it.
Yeah, it was just there was no point anymore. I just got, and I thought I was good when I started. I used to think that I was somebody. I can't skateboard in real life, but in Tony Hawk, I could hold my
That
own.
took months and months of development. Like we started like at the beginning of that, just battling and getting higher
Dude,
higher
seriously
combos,
the
and
best
then
Tony
eventually
Hawk
you're
game
doing
ever.
like
I love
every
that one.
trick in one move. Like
I know, dude. Seriously, the best Tony Hawk game ever.
That one and the first one. There's something about that
Oh
first
yeah,
one I love
dude. I
so
know.
much.
The second one was
The
really
first
good too.
one
Don't
was
get me wrong.
great,
I even
yeah.
like the third one, dude.
Yeah.
But then the fourth one, fifth one, not so much. But then
Well, the fifth one is kind of
yeah.
underground, I guess. There's
I'm bad at like real skateboarding and Tony Hawk, so I enjoyed those games, and I was so fucking bad at them.
Now, did you play Skate?
I never played that one.
Skate
That
was
is-
good. I really like Skate too.
To me, it was I was like, well, I played Tony Hawk. Skate just sounds like something
But-
different.
Again, dude, I don't think nothing touches Tony Hawk. But
No, I don't know.
Tony Hawk's Underground 2 was so horrible though, dude. I wish they wouldn't have won.
They almost advertised
Oh,
like
they
American
destroyed
Wasteland,
Tony
dude.
Hawk
It's
with
just
that
like,
game.
Oh my
They're-
god, what are you guys
they're
doing?
almost trying to advertise like Bam Margera's Underground
I
kind
know.
of.
Well, it
Yeah.
really
Oh,
was.
I know,
It was
right?
Viva La
Like-
Bam, the game, pretty
Yeah.
much.
The thing about
It's like
Skate,
they already have the show. Okay, why give him Tony Hawk?
Yeah.
Damn it!
I never even liked Bam Margera.
The funny thing about Tony Hawk games, though, is the worse the game was, it mostly had a better soundtrack in it, though.
I noticed that too.
Because that Tony
The
Hawk's Underground
songs
2
got
had
better.
some great songs in that one. I think
Tony Hawk's Underground 1 had like Dude, I just had Kiss on repeat the whole
Yeah.
time.
Tony
Dude,
Hawk's
I
Underground
wanna
1, it
rock
had
and
like
roll
5
the
great
whole
songs.
Can't go
fucking
wrong
time,
with Kiss.
dude.
I think the Underground 2 had like the Doors and it had Metallica and it had the I don't know what else it had actually. To tell you the truth. But I remember being having good stuff.
Yeah.
Now the cool thing with Skate 2, dude, is that like it just give me the Tony Hawk Underground vibe where like you're a skater trying to like, you know, make a name for yourself kind of thing, but
Just how the whole open world thing
the
where
Skate
you run around.
series
or...
was pretty sweet. The whole
Yeah.
Skate
Well,
series.
Well, plus
was
in
pretty
Underground,
sweet.
like when you're like 16 or whatever, whenever that came out, you're like, yeah, man, that's right. I could do it too. Believe.
Yeah, and then you go like me and you fall down a 5-star and you never
Fuck
touch a
that.
board again.
Yeah, exactly. You try skateboard and you're like, hit the concrete a few times. You're like,
Yeah,
is it even
no.
worth? Like,
Yeah.
okay, I might land this stair set once, but I have to land on the concrete fucking
I see. I got the scar.
30
right here. I don't know if you can see
times in
mine,
a
but-
row.
it took me
first,
months to
like-
learn that lesson.
For two
it's
or
not worth it.
for 2 or 3 months, I really seriously tried to get into skateboarding. But then I just realized all I was really doing is like, well, I skateboard as long as it's kind of like a nice even sidewalk. so you like be jumping off cracks. No. It has to be an even sidewalk, not too many cracks. You know.
No
so.
gravel whatsoever.
Yeah.
Wheels don't leave the ground.
So I stumbled trying to maintain balance the whole way.
Yeah.
Oh.
I know. Most of the scars on my body are from skating, man. Just have so
I
many.
I used to
wrecks.
luge on my skateboard and like
Yeah,
go
you're crazy.
bomb hills and like got the worst road rash ever up my side one time. It was horrible.
The sad thing with me, it was never like, man, one day I'm gonna have to go to a half pipe and slide down that thing and probably fall down, or one day I'm gonna have to grind down a rail. It's never that's like I could just like hit a pebble and fly off and hit a sidewalk.
much.
Yeah. I might like trip and fall and hurt my knee. That was like mine. So
Yep.
I was a total pussy when it came to extreme sports.
Like one of the worst wrecks that I had. You've been up to the Sonora skate park, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you know how they have that drop-in face and it goes right to the death box. Right there, right at the very bottom where it's all flat right there, I decide that I'm going to go down. So I start to ride down. There's a bunch of kids sitting next to that fence right there where all the gravel is, and they kick gravel.
Oh,
so
little cocksuckers.
I am flying, dude, and I hit a piece of gravel. I take 2 steps that I just couldn't control, you know? And I go right into the side of that death box. It just like, my lungs, dude, just hurt so bad because I hit it dead on, you know, like...
How old are the kids?
Dang.
Probably like 8, 9 years old, like little fucking assholes.
Still deserve a fucking punch in the face.
Yeah, exactly. They ran off after that, after they saw me wreck, but yeah, that was terrible, man. I just, I got that. I got this chunk taken out of my leg right here
damn.
from a, I tried to grind on, like those things that, parking lots where cars like roll up to and they can stop, just those concrete blocks, Waxed down one of those and jumped up on it, tried to do a 50-50, and the board kicked out from underneath me and my shin just
See, I'm glad I never got to the point where I was attempting that stuff.
Dude, it sucks.
It was so hard to
It
grind a
sucks.
skateboard. I don't even know, like to stay on the board.
I was able to ollie and maybe get a kickflip down. That was about as far as it ever went.
Yeah, that's why I
That
love
kickflip was all
snowboarding, man.
luck. Because believe me, there's a lot of tries of like not getting it anywhere.
Yeah.
You smack your shin like 6 times. You're like, all right, I'm done for today.
I got kind of a jump and land, not really good, but a jump and a land. No flip, nothing special like that. Just okay, I didn't trip. That's good.
Dude, RJ, remember Patrick's like makeshift like half pipe out of wood he had in his back of his house?
Where like it went like hella flat at the bottom of it, so you lost hella speed. Couldn't make it up the other side really.
I just remember going on it and falling about 10 times before I got it where like I didn't fall once.
I just remember.
And I think I fell coming back the other side.
In order to get enough speed, I had to lean hella far forward, which in turn would cause me to fall a lot. But shit.
Yeah. Well, see, that's why I snowboard nowadays, because you can fall at 45 miles an hour, and yeah, you'll get a little bruised up or whatever, but it's not like hitting concrete, like
Definitely not
so
like hitting
much
concrete,
easier.
but I'll tell you this much: starts.
Yeah, it's well, see,
Yeah, I've hurt myself pretty bad on snowboards,
Yeah.
hauling ass and hitting jumps and shit, dude. It fucks me up.
yeah.
See, this is why I like weightlifting, because everything's a controlled environment.
There you go.
There is no random acts really in there. It's all solid. It's controlled.
Yep.
I know what I'm doing. You only hurt yourself if you do something stupid.
Yeah.
True that.
Yeah.
There's nobody's gonna run out in front of me while I'm weightlifting.
Not gonna run over a pebble and fly off my board.
Yeah. I'm not gonna be skiing down a hill and get stuck. Were you with me that one time, RJ, when like I went off that jump skiing and I got my skis all crossed and I couldn't get up
Oh, no.
whatsoever until I think
remember.
if
I
it
don't
wasn't
think
you, that
so.
must have been Cisco. Like I physically had to have somebody help me up because my skis were crossed and I was just laying there like I can't do anything else. skis are too long. I can't even reach back to unclick them.
I went like snowboarding one time. It took like a day lesson thing, and then just went down one of like the beginner hills, and it was pretty brutal. I was just going down, and it was just kind of like if you just saw like a little distant shot, just you see the speck like going for like a few feet, trip, fuck, shit, fuck, tumble, get back up, stumble up, go back down, shit, fuck, shit, you know. You keep the whole way down, and then like at some point, no kidding, like a little 8-year-old girl comes by on skis, like, "You okay, mister?" Like, "Yeah, I'm okay." "All right," goes, like a fucking backflip or whatever, keeps on going. Woo! Yeah.
Backflips out of there.
Not a backflip, it was something like that, some little trick.
Something impressive that you knew you'd never be able to do, no matter how hard you tried.
And that's where like, I could try, but I could try, keep at this, but nah, fuck it.
Yep.
Not good now, so fuck it.
I don't know. There's a lot of assholes on the mountain too that'll like. Back when I first started snowboarding, I used to get sprayed a lot. Like I don't know what it was with like older snowboarders just like flying down a hill, and you're exactly what you're saying. You know, you're falling down a lot. You're trying to get up. You're trying to get down the hill, and then just some asshole, you just see him come whipping down that hill and just carve so hard right in front of you, and just
Because it's fucking
a wall of
funny.
snow.
Fine.
That's the next part of my story is that like. Now that I've had that happen to me, it's just like that's one of my favorite things.
You're like, "Hey, kid!"
It's like now we get to be the older kids.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
exactly.
The little kids.
How does it feel to fail? Yeah, you're a disappointment to your parents. Kid's like, he's right.
Maybe I should just fail.
Just a single tear builds up in the corner of his eye.
Yep.
Well, it's probably a good place to wrap it up at almost 2 hours of fun.
I don't know.
Good episode.
But yeah, so well, I'll put your links up on the podcast page for this
Sweet.
episode. So I guess what do you want? The Facebook one, and you got anything else?
Not as of yet. I mean,
So I'll just put the Facebook
it'll be
one.
next week. Yeah, I mean, by the time we get everything up online.
Yeah, this
for
will be
listening to.
uploaded probably before that happens.
Probably our SoundCloud.
Yeah, we do have a
SoundCloud.
SoundCloud that has
Yeah.
our song up on
No,
it.
it's
we
gotta
gotta
be
see it.
SoundCloud /
Premarital -death / catharsis -surgeon. So we'll
I got
link
both.
it to you.
Yeah.
We'll link it to you.
Well, maybe I'll just put the Facebook. We'll figure it out. Well, yeah, and then also make sure to check out oldmanorange.com. That's where you'll find all of me and Dunigan stuff. So, yeah, we'll put a link up for everything on there. Till then, I'm Spencer Scott Holmes.
I'm Ryan Dunigan.
I'm Cameron Curbelo.
I'm Josh Hyatt.
RJ Ainsley.
We will see you some other time.
Goodbye.
Later.
Thank you.
You cry, you're pathetic.